Howdy, folks, and welcome to Adventures in Alberon. I'm Joe Treff, your dungeon master for the evening. This is the D&D game that I run for my friends Matt, Miles, Ali, and Tina, and that we get to share with you on Twitch. Our campaign follows the unfolding events of the arrival of Aurelian's star in our homebrewed world of Alberon, and the potential end of the age that it heralds, as well as our noble is kind of a strong word. Our heroes is kind of a strong word. Our party. It's our protagonist. Let's go with that.
He's
the
folk.
finger guy. He's folk. But first, just a couple quick housekeeping things before we jump in. There is art on our Instagram from Sophie Bischoff. If you haven't already seen it, it's super cool. It features Morwen along with some people from Morwen's background. We don't know so much about that yet, but we'll probably get there at some point. Also, next week, we're playing next week, right? So next week, or the next time that we play, will be session 60, which is cool. There's going to be something cool about that, so check our Twitter sometime tomorrow. That's when there's going to be an announcement for that. And then the last announcement that I have, because it's actually working at the beginning, I think, is we use Sirenscape for all of our sounds, music, the various little bits of ambience that you can hear in the background. That is all from Sirenscape. It's a cool digital tool set that you can use. I just figured out how to actually create new moods, which are preset kind of different elements of sound that you can mix together and have mastered as sort of this ready to go click. Okay, you're in a dungeon. There's wind and chains and little bits of dust trickling down. Very, very cool. So Sirenscape, check that out. That's where the jungle music is coming from. But with that, I know it's the best. Jungle music has been our unofficial theme song in the background for quite some time.
It's our get ready song.
Yeah, it's our pump up song.
Yeah.
Okay, so with that, I'm going to fade us out of the jungle.
Aw.
And I'm going to bring us to our very own theme song for our recap. Finger Gang. Last we played, Guntir, you started us out with an ambush. 6 members of the Zinyi Splinter Sect, the Ninth Path, ambushed you from the side of Mount Yishi. You confronted with 6 spear-wielding Aarakocra, odds even for you overwhelmingly against you. You managed to fool all 6 of them with a incredibly well-timed and convincing feigned death, and then just a superb deception check. As a spell took hold and you felt magic death overtake you, magic death is a great term, and I want to use that for something. You felt the presence and saw through graying eyes the barrel-chested, bow-winged Aarakocra Crick, who spoke orders in Auran to the rest. After a little bit of time, the rest of you catching up slowly in your own dog sleds after Guntir caused an accident in Morwen's. You found Guntir impaled upon a spear as a warning at the foot of Mount Yishi. Shae, you dragged Guntir's body down the length of the spear and stabilized him before Heinrich could apply more serious aid. After waiting for Morwen to build a snowman with the bloodied snow, and for Guntir to return to life, you bade the halfling duo of Sally Abletoe and Pine, her ward, goodbye, after they'd gathered the dogs and sleds that Guntir had sort of let loose.
Got chased away because of the ambush, but okay.
You made a quick journey up Mount Yishi, passing frozen trees and snow-covered stone slopes, following one of the paths that allows for a relatively easy ascent. You spent the night in an alcove designed to offer respite from the journey and made your way to the peak of the mountain. You found Squall's End damaged, but standing. 2 massive strikes originating in the doorway of the halls of Dharma, but sweeping through Squall's End and cleaving hundreds of feet through the Tower of Ravens, Gamble's workshop beyond that, and the windmill beyond that. And even still, with these hundreds of feet of damage, the stone of the mountain itself seemed to have sustained part of this strike. Outside the halls, which emitted ominous winds, gathered old friends from the Zinyi, Shae, your uncle figure Gamble, and the Aarakocra childhood friend of yours, Croddock, both injured, an old friend from the nearby village of smugglers, Doug, Larara, the furbolg with vibrant orange hair, had also come to the aid of the town, perhaps to pay a debt owed to you after you came to the aid of hers. Also present was Pericolo, the air genasi with Doppio, the ancient, graying, somewhat morbid is a strong word, very large ancient songbird. Pericolo warned you that something was happening that he did not yet understand. But in the icy fields of Everest, he had felt something stir, and was destined now for the Ald. He had stopped here to seek Era's advice, but decided to move on with her no longer present. You learned, Shae, that whatever had transpired here, the Ninth Path seeming to pour out of the halls of Dharma, all of the mountain elves who had at one time trekked across the shifting ice from the Ald and to Dominion, and eventually the Zinni Monastery, every single mountain elf has been taken. Aside from a single body that you found in the halls of Dharma, not one seems to remain. You descended into the halls, this tiered structure of white and gray striated stone across this room of broken bodies, both Zinni and Ninth Path. These tranquil waters that at one time contained small pond frogs that lived out a peaceful existence, now red and frozen. Through you went down the path of the soul, generally forbidden to those not of master status. And down the steps you came upon a pit of sand. Within the room, invisible stalkers waited. And utilizing elements of sand, you managed to track them just enough to dispatch the beasts that hail from the plane of air. Guntir and Morwen, you stepped off the side of the northern hallway into seeming magical darkness. But Guntir, as you rolled rather poorly and fell from the wall, you realized that you didn't fall, but floated. You learned you could think and move, albeit for the two of you kind of slowly. Guntir, you doggy paddled your way north and into darkness. Morwen, you float closer to the edge, still within sight of the 5x8 doorway, which is pretty much all you can see, and the hallway beyond. Meanwhile, Heinrich, Shae, you made your way up the western stairs to the corpse of a Ninth Path monk, through the door beyond, and through a hallway of glass beads that seemed to absorb and throw back the light cast by a lantern hung above. It appeared to you almost like this field of glowing glass orbs like stars in the darkness. And as you step through, this huge stone slab shuts. The floor to ceiling completely sealed by this block. And suddenly, you begin to hear something within the walls moving. What would you like to do?
Shit. Gonna go look at the scroll.
Don't do that. Right away.
I will also. I think we were both heading to like investigate the altar or pedestal or whatever the hell it was.
Sure. So you step forward. You can see in the middle of this room, which is not terribly large, 15 feet long, 10 feet wide. You can see this pedestal, apparently the lone piece of furniture item within the room. It is perhaps 3 feet tall with a broad, flat surface, similar to the kind that you might speak on, except not angled towards you, just flat. You see intricate scroll work around it, elven in origin. Heinrich, you especially, having spent some time in the last couple of days really going over Elvish, you can see the influence of the design. You hear behind you as you approach. And as you get over top, you can see there is just a single wooden button. It has maybe an eighth of an inch around it, indicating that you could press it. There is no dust gathered upon it. You hear. What do you want to do?
There's no writing on the pedestal?
Make an investigation check.
17.
17. With a 17, you look around the pedestal on the top, you trace your hands over it. It's just this solid scroll work. You don't see any characters necessarily. However, looking a little bit more closely, your eyes kind of drift up and you see beyond you, above the door that is currently shut to you, not the one that you came through, but the one that you were heading towards on the other side of this button, you can just see a single word, and I'm going to say make an intelligence check, because I don't know that you have learned this. It is in Elvish. And then, Shae, do you speak Elvish, or is it just kind of part?
Part.
Make an intelligence check as well.
Okay. So it doesn't transform to be able to be read?
It does not.
Which gives me another thought too, but I will do that after. 10.
With the 10, you look at it, and there are elements of something. But all of a sudden, as you begin to pour through, and you're like, all right, what words do I know? Light. And you start going down. You are suddenly aware of the fact that that ticking sound, much quicker.
Uh-oh.
What do you guys want to do?
Shae, any ideas?
None.
Okay, I'm gonna just, for the sake of it, just try to cast Mage Hand, just to see if it works.
Okay.
Not at anything, just in general.
Sure. You hold out your hands, and as the glyphs spin into life, it just separates from your hand. That spiritual, ghostly one seems to work fine.
Oh, thank goodness. So why can't I read that? That's weird. Okay. Is there anything else of note in the room besides a word I can't read in Elvish?
Looking around with that last investigation check, you're quickly scanning everything. The only thing that you find in the far corners, in every corner, the top ones, the bottom ones, the stone that makes up this place seems to recess slightly, but it's thin, paper thin. It would be difficult to get something underneath or through. Unclear of what the reasoning is. And as you sort of trace it and see if you can do anything to it, you can now hear this ticking, almost completely like one note of ticks. You feel somewhat anxious. What are you doing?
Yeah. Shae, do we push the button or not? Or do we act patiently? I don't know. Does either of those feel like more monkly to you?
I am inclined toward patience, but
What are you doing? It is now just rapid fire. You can feel it kind of beginning to echo in the space. What are you doing?
Shae, can I just bring us back to the previous room? Do you mind if I just panic and jump out?
do as you will.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna grab her and use Dimension Door back the room previously.
Okay, sure. So you grab Shae, and in this moment, you grab her. You can see these glyphs, Shae, you especially, on the actual space around you, begin to shimmer, almost as if out of nothing. Like sparks fly off, teal sparks that give way to these complex celestial runes. And as you are being pulled, you can feel this sudden weird sense of motion, because for you, movement pretty easy. You're not used to really feeling the effects of inertia.
Mm-hmm.
For just a moment, as you pull out, you can hear the beginning, the stop, and you hear, and then just you're gone. Suddenly, you into the hallway. The beads suddenly displace. They all over the wall. They're colliding, and it's like you're in like a hippie's doorway. The light is all around you, sparkling. It's like a almost disco ball of strands of glass beads, and as they kind of begin to settle, you hear on the other side, and you can actually see now the doorway reappear.
Okay. Right at the end there, did you hear something? Did that sound like a like death or like a door opening? I couldn't tell. I was kind of panicking. Sorry.
I'd say, Shae, for you, having been through many doors before, it certainly sounded like a door opening.
Most likely it opened, but caution is always
Damn it.
prudent.
You seemed so relaxed. It just made me even more anxious. Sorry. Should we just stand in the room again, or should we rejoin our friends?
Perhaps we should see what trouble Guntir and Morwen have gotten themselves into.
Yeah. I don't think Guntir would have fared well in that room, to be honest. I think that button would have been pushed as soon as he saw it. So maybe let's just go back with
You're
them.
worried about Guntir pushing the button.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think definitely.
Either one of the two
I-
of them, I suppose.
Feel that either one of them, should they encounter anything like this, in the path that they have found,
Something's
if
on the
any,
right
could
track.
be a trouble.
Okay, let's go see how they fare.
If I recall, we were supposed to be going down this hallway.
Shae, Heinrich, you turn and begin pushing your way through the beads. Switching our focus to Guntir and Morwen. Hang on just one second here. Okay. So, Guntir and Morwen. Moving through this dark space, Guntir, you paddling into the darkness, for a moment look behind you, and you don't see Morwen anymore.
No,
And
I'm right on
you-
his lap. No, I'm just
You look down, you look up, you look to the sides, you don't see her.
Nothing out of the ordinary so far.
Make a perception check as you doggy paddle your way into the darkness, which is fine.
Oh, nice. That is 27.
Okay, Guntir. For a moment, you stop your doggy paddle, and in the brief time, the way that your eyes kind of wander, these 287-year-old pupils just going around, they actually focus for just a moment. And in this dark, dark space, you realize it isn't necessarily endless. You sense that there are things around you. You feel, and you can't tell if it's real because you are wearing armor and clothes, but you feel something almost seem to brush your arm. You look, there's nothing there. You look down, you look up, you still feel somewhat disoriented now. There is no ground, there is no ceiling, there is no walls. You forget which direction was Morwen in. But then you begin to think, you begin to look, and what are you looking for?
I'm looking for the exit to the room that is not the entrance that we came in.
In your mind as you think of the word exit, as if stage lights rise, you see no more than 30 feet away from you a simple wooden door and the continuation of a very similar stone that you had left previously. You look behind you, still no more.
Hey, Morwen! The door's over here! And I'm gonna point to the door,
Okay.
expecting that she's probably somewhere floating around.
Morwen, for your part,
She's
you float
sneaky.
about 10 feet away from the place that you left. You can still see the sand pit. You don't see Guntir, you don't hear Guntir. But in this moment, you know that just thinking powers your movement.
I mean, I was waiting for them to show up, and I'm tied to the wall, so I guess just kind of picture me as like a drifting balloon right now.
Okay, so like a kite caught in the wind, Morwen just
yeah, but
gently up
it's
and down.
not quick. It's just like,
Okay.
you know?
Like you're bobbing on the top of water.
Yeah, it's kind of nice. I'm relaxing.
If I use thaumaturgy and say, Morwen, over here! Does that...
Are you
that doesn't-
are you doing that?
Yeah, I'm gonna do that as well.
Flashing
Once
back
I-
over to Guntir.
Once I exit, or once I get to like the foot of the exit and land
Okay.
on this
You
area,
doggy
like,
paddle
ah.
your way over to this sort of landing, 5 feet before the door itself. And as you get over, it's almost, you feel yourself sinking. It's actually, because you've experienced the effects of it, similar to Featherfall in the way that that sensation of slowly and safely alighting on the ground kind of takes over.
I kind of like moon landing land.
This door is very different. And now that you can actually see it, you're recognizing, though it looks like a split two-door kind of operation, there are faint lines that swirl towards the middle, and you realize, getting really close for you, this is not wood, this is stone.
Oh.
You've encountered this sort of stone before, actually. But you, looking at it, can kind of determine that this opens similar to an aperture. The individual parts spiraling up and away,
So is
creating...
this the same as the previous door? Aperture quality?
No, a little bit different. And the real difference that you're seeing, I would say, just using your old perception check, the primary difference that you see in this one, you've seen many doors in your 287 years. You've traveled extensively through Dominion and the waters around. There's something weird about the workmanship of this, and you're recognizing certainly dwarvish tools did not make this. You don't think elvish tools made this. You don't think human tools made this. You're drawing a blank. At about this point, as you consider the door, Morwen, you see Heinrich and Shae round the corner and come down the set of stairs. They stand across the sand pit, and you recognize Morwen for the first time from here. You can't quite make out Heinrich's and Shae's face. You can see them, but it's almost as if there's like a haze beyond.
Oh. Wait, did I not hear Guntir's thaumaturgy yelps?
Nope.
Oh, well, that's unfortunate.
Cuts
Hey guys!
through.
You see Morwen just slowly drifting, attached to a string that itself attached to the wall.
What? What?
You know, it's kind of fun. Why don't you guys try it? Weather's great up here.
Do we need a rope?
Nah, you just actually. Speaking of which, why don't you untie me? But
Are you sure?
yeah, see what happens.
I don't like playing this game. That's usually what Guntir says, and he gets impaled like once a week now.
Yeah, but I've never gotten impaled.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
You jinxed yourself.
I was gonna say first time for everything.
Yeah, I'll untie it, but hold on to it still.
Shae's been in
Right when he unties it, I'm just going to think of dropping. But
Okay.
stop right now. Just kidding.
So you,
gotcha.
right as you untie it, you can see this kind of smile spread across Morwen's face before she slowly starts lowering. What was your intelligence modifier? It was 2?
It's 1.
1? 5 feet at a time. Morwen slowly lowers herself down.
I'll just be like, what are you? And I'll just reel her in.
Okay.
No. Aw.
And Morwen, you feel yourself pulled in bit by bit until suddenly you feel the sensation of slowly dropping.
Where is Guntir? In there. Okay. So how are you doing that?
I was just, I know it sounds weird. I was thinking.
Oh.
Yeah. I was thinking about where I
Well.
wanted to go, and then I did. And
Well,
it's
I'm-
kind of incredible. It's like I've been doing that this whole time. But,
I'm gonna roll my
it's the first time it was
sleeves up
effective.
as she's talking. I'm gonna roll my sleeves and go, well, if it's thinking, and then I'll just sort of step off and like lurch in like this position, but my speed is also only 5 feet.
Wow, that's really... I'm not gonna
So
lie,
I'll
that's
just-
pretty
yeah, all
impressive
right.
of you.
Oh, Guntir's the fastest!
Oh, that's a weird thing, huh?
I'll just be like superhuman speed, and that's what I'll be thinking as I'm going forward.
Sure. And as you think that, assuming that the human is incredibly slow, this would be superhuman because 5 feet at a time, you move
It's
in the
5
direction
more
that you
feet than
think.
the average human, so that is super.
That's technically true. You float, you feel weightless, you feel the scales no longer dragging on your body, you feel the armor, the cloak, anything that you carry, the weight significantly less. This is a space that seems very different than much of what you've experienced before.
I'll forget that I'm holding the rope and just go until it pulls Morwen back in.
Okay, so Morwen, as you're like looking at Shae, all of a sudden you feel just this gentle tug, and then you kind of start sliding backwards a little bit. And Morwen, like a scene from Gravity, just away on this rope.
Yeah, I'm
And
really
worth
into the
noting,
theatrics of this.
Shae, even for you, with your superior eyesight, after about 45 feet, Heinrich just seems to fade away. You see the rope trailing into darkness before Morwen too. The eyes, the teeth, are gone.
Like the Cheshire cat. Wait,
Very
so-
much so.
Well, so if Heinrich has the rope and he's pulling me in by the rope, it's a 90-foot rope. So did he disappear into the darkness, like from my vision too?
Yep. So it seems as if in this space, this sort of floaty dark space, the limit of your eyesight is about 45 feet.
I'll just pull the rope in, realizing that I can't see Morwen.
Okay, you turn, you just see the rope trailing into darkness as you pull it in.
Well, that's creepy as
I
hell.
mean, I'm gonna be thinking, I'm going back to the edge because now this is kind of creepy and
So as you pull,
track our directions a little
like
bit.
a fisherman, it suddenly goes taut. And because you actually have, what are your raw intelligence scores?
Full speed!
No,
No,
12.
the
12.
12.
All of us are 12.
It's a stalemate. You guys begin to think, and you think and nothing's happening.
Drifting like this.
I'll feel
Not
bad
even.
about. I'll feel the guilt and shame of having the same speed as Morwen, and I'll return.
You kind of stop and you just slowly begin to drift back to Morwen. Morwen, you see Heinrich as you touch down on the ground, and Shae, you see Heinrich suddenly just appear slowly out of the darkness, and then a light also. The three
Like
of you
molasses in there, Jesus.
back on ground. Guntir, are you doing anything while they're doing this? They haven't arrived. You're still just in this dark place by yourself.
I can see the door. Is it something that I should stone con? You said that I already have seen this stone before.
You certainly can. Make your stone cutting check.
These stone. Ooh, that's what's the bonus now? I think it's a 17 now. Yeah, 17.
This particular sort of stone, you recall vaguely seeing it. You've seen a lot of stone in your life, somewhere maybe in Far Shore, Captain's Keep, that region. But aside from that, tough.
Oh, is it from that fairy's house? The cat fairy?
It's
That's
weird,
kind
as you
of so
speak
long.
to yourself, there is no echo in this cavernous space. Your voice is very muted, almost.
So this door, does it have things like scribed on it that are legible but not to me?
You don't see any language, anything that looks decorative even. This just seems like a very secure door.
I'm gonna think like, I wonder how I open this. And then I'm gonna look back and be like, I guess I win this race too.
And Guntir waits. The three of you, what are you doing?
So, Gunter's in there.
Yeah, it's
And,
kind of hard to see though.
I'm a little concerned that I got a little lost. I couldn't see you anymore at the end of that rope.
Yeah, but this also seems like maybe a safe way to stay together through this, so...
But doesn't it seem like a little bit of like an abyss, and we're just gonna get lost in it forever?
Well, we were in a room that had what seemed to be kind of a test. I mean, I argue that I caused us to fail it, but not in a bad way, in just a, like, I'll take the test later way. Like, phone in sick on the day of the test kind of thing.
Like you're in college and you got a medical excuse?
Yeah, because I'm 18 and I can write that.
Yeah. Shae?
All of this hall is designed to be a test in a way.
Yeah, well, this might be the test of, getting lost forever. What was your test?
Patience. And,
Oh, fuck that.
yeah, I kind of think Shae had that one, but well, whatever. This one seems to be about test of thinking in directions, which if I can't be patient, I can at least do that.
I mean, do we want to just hold hands and go?
Yeah, and well, rope too. Should we let go if there is anything in there, like the invisible things we fought before, just over 5 feet that way?
Oh, you mean to get back here?
Or just so that if we get thrown by something, I don't know, it's just secure. I mean, they'll be slack.
Well,
but...
in all fairness, I haven't heard Gunter yell or anything, and you know how he's noisy when he's in trouble.
Yeah,
To be
I
fair,
guess.
sight seems to be limited, so I would imagine sound is as well.
Right. Okay, well, let's think about this one. When we were in there, you and I, we were able to move by thinking that direction. Is that it? Is it just go until you're at the other side?
I don't know, I was just floating around. You saw me. You saw how far I got. Here, hold this. Hold this. Let me test something. Hold
Okay.
the rope.
Okay.
And
I
I'm
mean,
gonna
still
go.
holding
I'm
it.
gonna drift off.
Okay.
And once I can't see Heinrich anymore, I'm going to fart and see if he heard it.
Okay. You watch Morwen just drift away, the red jacket slowly seeming to almost to saturate before she disappears. Morwen, you get
Yes, sir.
about 45 feet away. You turn, You don't see Heinrich anymore.
I do the deed.
It's
Did you
weird.
hear that?
And in this space, as you call out, you expect at least some kind of an echo. It's as if you're in a very muffled room. The space seems to almost eat the sound that comes from your voice
And your fart.
and your fart.
my butt. Okay, so
Damn.
that's hilarious. So I'm just gonna come back laughing.
From the dark,
That's
there's
so
nothing.
terrifying.
There's just this rope. And then all of a sudden, Heinrich, the rope begins to go slack.
Yeah.
And you see teeth, and you just hear the beginnings of laughter before it just suddenly erupts into the space.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, I knew you were there, Morwen, but like, damn, that was okay. Well, what? Okay, you know what? I'm not gonna ask.
Yes, you shouldn't. So you
Smart.
can't hear much in there either.
Okay, so tether, and then go and try to find Guntir. Is that our best guess? That's my best guess. What do you guys think?
I think it should be fairly simple if that is what our intention is.
Okay.
Cool.
Well, all right. Shae, do you want to grab onto a part of this, and we can all stay close enough together?
Sure.
Just remember it's my rope, and then I'm gonna drift off with it holding an end of it.
Okay.
Morwen's very attached to this rope, both figuratively and literally. So,
Yeah.
Cats and yarn and all that.
so are you guys lashing yourselves together and then just drifting off into the dark?
I'm just gonna hold on to it like I was
Okay.
before. I
Yeah, I'm
don't
just
want to
holding
like
on
get
to
stuck.
an end, and I drifted off, laughing into the darkness.
Like three small school children holding on to the teacher's line.
Pretty much.
You step off into darkness. And all of you, I believe, move at the same pace. Shae, your intelligence modifier is 1. So you guys move 5 feet at a time, inching into darkness. You move, and as you turn and look, for anybody who does, you watch 45 feet away. The stone ledge seems to desaturate and disappear. And you look around, and you are in darkness.
Very pointedly thinking of Guntir.
Okay. You think of Guntir. Guntir, switching back to you. You have attempted now, using thaumaturgy, to call out for Morwen. Nobody seems to be responding. There's about a 5-foot space between you and the door. If you want, you can go closer and attempt to try to open it.
I'm gonna go closer, and I'm going to use find traps as
Okay.
because powerful door. Usually they're trapped. I know this by now.
You step closer, and as you begin to mutter the incantations to cast this, the door opens.
Oh,
Through the door, there is a cylindrical stone hallway, composed of 6 angular rings of stone 10 feet across that spins slowly at various speeds, none terribly fast. Stone walls span about 8 feet between each ring, each with a circular window of glass that bows away from the interior of the hall, like a dome or a window. You can't see through them because the dome extends out beyond your circle of vision, looking straight down the hall. Outside, or you can just kind of lean in and look through if you want.
yeah. And is find traps still?
So, would you still like to cast it? Because you haven't cast it yet. You kind of stop right as the door opens, but you can certainly cast it.
I think I'll cast it in this room
Okay.
as I peek in.
You cast it's find traps.
Yes,
What's the range on that?
it is 120 feet, and I sense the presence of any traps within that range, within line of sight.
You cast find traps. This big ring of arcane blue energy slowly seems to sweep like a radar. It goes over the stone floors, the walls, the individual little aspects of the space. And as it does, there don't seem to be traps.
Alright, so it must be some sort of puzzle instead.
As that ring expands outwards and into the room beyond, and this room beyond is quite dark, although not dark like the space that you just came from. It appears just to be a dark room. You see beyond this cylindrical hallway, it seems to open up. You can see you see wooden floors, wooden planks. And they seem to kind of disappear into this darkness.
Oh. I'm gonna turn back around and be like, Morwen!
Okay. You shout, Morwen!
Thaumaturgy.
Morwen, okay. It's louder. Morwen, Heinrich, Shae, you float through the darkness. Shae, you think of Guntir. And he's in your thoughts.
I'm gonna start shouting out Gunter's name.
Okay.
I'm gonna...
Suddenly Morwen shouts it out, and you look at the space. It's weird because being so close to you, Heinrich, you're used to recoiling away. It's slightly muted in this space. There is no echo to it. It's as if you're in like a soundproofed room almost.
I'm continuously shouting it, by the way.
Well, as fun as this is, I really would like to get out of here.
And as you think of out, and as you say out, again, the stage light seems to, and you see, just as Guntir did, this aperture doorway, although the aperture is open, and through it, standing right in the doorway, you see Guntir, both eyes kind of navigating the dark space in different directions. Guntir, in front of you, from the darkness, it's as if somebody brings the house lights on, and your three friends appear 30 feet in front of you.
Hey!
All holding onto a rope.
Whoa. That was weird. Onward.
I was about to have to go back and get you.
Alright, give me the rope. Take my rope.
You guys softly alight on this side of the ledge. You can see the same thing that Guntir saw, this opened aperture. You can see stone, this corridor, cylindrical rings of stone rotating through it.
Yeah, no big deal. Just while I was waiting around, I already unlocked the first door, and I was about to come get you, but here you are.
Is the hallway safe?
Safe enough. I mean, I haven't gone in it yet.
Alright.
Alright, well, now that you're here, let's go. I'm gonna turn and start walking in.
I'm gonna, like the candlelight sway, just expect something to, like, smush him.
Sure. As you watch, Guntir just kind of hobbles in.
Just like... No, I'm just, like, doing this,
Okay,
like, waiting for him to, like, oh!
You see Guntir, you get to the first section where there is a spinning section. So the floor gives way, and this ring spins. Looking to your left, you can see the first of these domed pieces of glass. And outside, you see the same darkness that you came through. Go ahead and make a perception check.
Can I guidance myself as I scratch my chin?
Yeah. You feel this surge enter your body.
What's up with this puzzle? Ooh, that's a 12. Not great.
It's dark as shit out there. Yeah.
It's really dark. So there's this spinning ring on a platform in front of me.
So if you step forward, it's as if the floor, the walls, and the ceiling are all rotating for about the next 10 feet. And then beyond that, 10 feet of regular hall, and then another ring. There are 6 of these rings, all moving at different speeds, all clockwise.
I know that this is some sort of puzzle. And
you see the open door on the other side as well.
The domes are to the left of us, and they're
on
glass
each
domes.
section where there is this sort of 10-foot span of immobile floor, there is a roughly 8 feet wide dome set into the wall. They bow away from you. And Guntir, you have been in certain ships, especially dwarven designed ships that go through a little bit rougher waters. They have windows similar to this, almost like portholes. Port holes, not portals.
Yeah.
It's D&D. It's D&D. You gotta
You can
specify.
have portals and portals, but you can't confuse the two. They must be
Exactly.
So I'm thinking that there might be some water involved in this puzzle, and I'm thinking that maybe it's also got to do with gravity because the rings in the last room where we floated. So if I step forward, that puts me on this like basically rotating tube room.
Yeah, and it's slow. I mean, it's like, this kind of a pace. It's not quick.
Okay. I'm gonna like tentatively step on and brace myself on the walls. Is it too wide?
It's like 10 feet wide, so you can't
Okay,
brace. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm gonna step on and sort of like going at the same pace to match it the opposite way so that
Sure.
I'm staying like at the foot of it.
And even for you, it's a little slow. You have to kind of like stutter step every now and then, but no problem. You see Guntir now in a hamster wheel just slowly walking sideways. Never going
Okay.
anywhere.
Weird.
An allergy.
Uh,
Getting your
allegory,
steps in
perhaps.
there, Guntir.
All right, first step's okay. I'm gonna start cautiously making my way down this tube hall.
Okay, you watch as Guntir crosses the first ring, crosses the second. Nothing seems to be happening. What are the rest of you guys doing?
Cautiously following.
Yeah,
You follow
I'll stroll.
Me
Heinrich
too.
and Morwen.
I'll obviously curiously poke my head through one of the portholes.
Yeah,
It's
I
like
wonder
you-
if it's outside.
Just like,
Like perception checks, please.
16 for me.
Okay.
12.
Okay. You look out and you see a whole lot of dark.
Huh.
You continue to walk,
This is a
All of
great
you.
view.
one by one, following Guntir, the slowest member of your party.
I
Guntir?
was the fastest in the last room. Let's get it clear.
We'll get it, Clay.
Get it clear.
As you walk, you cross one ring, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Clear.
No problem. But as you get to within 10 feet in that open doorway on the other side, beyond, up on what suspended actually from the ceiling, this chain comes into view because on the end of it, and very similar, Heinrich, to that magical lantern that you've had before, this triangular, upside down gray light. And you can see casts a dim gray light across about a 30-foot ring of this space. Morwen, you especially take note of this because looking down, you see a dock. For the rest of you, you see this wooden space seem to extend beyond 30 feet of it. It seems to branch out to the left, to the right, and forward. And off the edges of it, darkness. Shae, what's your passive perception? It's 18, right?
19.
19? Okay.
Also, Guntes.
Also Guntir's. This is what you see. You all come to a stop at the end of this hall, looking out across. Morwen, to you, it looks like very much like a dock, although where there should be water, there's just darkness.
Ew. The dock of darkness, I say out loud.
That's a dock. I'm gonna pull out my lantern, being like, "Oh wow, this kind of," and I'm just gonna compare it, out of curiosity.
You turn it on?
I don't know if I knew how to turn it on. I think I just had it.
You learned it. It's touch. It's like one of those touch
yeah,
lamps.
that's right. Okay.
So you touch it. This green light matches the gray. They kind of overlap, and it's slightly brighter in the space that overlaps. But aside from that, there's no response. However, holding it up a little bit and comparing them, very similar.
Huh.
And this is before the next door.
You don't see another door. There is darkness
Oh, I thought you said there
all
was,
around you.
sorry. Okay.
You've walked through the other door at the end of the cylindrical hallway, and this is what you're seeing beyond. There is this sort of almost like a soft street light that's coming down in a 30-foot ring of this dark and dark space, and then you can see the dock disappear into darkness on the left, the right, and straight forward. What would you guys like to do?
I mean,
So
let's
it's like-
just see if it's the same stuff.
3 paths, basically, off of this dock, and we can't see past like 30 feet.
Correct.
Oh, I'm gonna make my way to like underneath the light, probably at the crux of the 3 paths. I guess.
Guntir steps out about 10 feet into this space, and Guntir, on your left, you look down, you can see the and certainly now even you can recognize this is a dock. These are like wooden planks aligned. You can see tiny nails that hold them in, with just darkness beyond. Look to your right, the same thing. You would imagine, given your previous experience, these docks do continue, but they just 45 feet away, they just disappear. Whatever this lantern is, it seems to break through this darkness.
Does my lantern as well? Can I
You would
move
need to walk-
out of the way of the
Sure.
dark? Yeah, out of the way.
Left, right, straight.
Straight.
Okay, you continue to walk, and as you get directly underneath the gray light and move about 5 feet beyond so that they no longer overlap, and you can see that green light just extend beyond the edge of the gray. And certainly,
I'll turn around and be like, check it out. Glad I kept this, huh? Y'all don't even remember that I had it, I bet.
I don't even know what that is.
It's from the...
I don't even remember what I had for lunch.
Yeah, you know what? Never
Wait.
mind.
No, I
Eggs.
don't.
Bathtub eggs. No, I'm just kidding.
Alright, let's stick together this time, and I at least can help shove off the darkness, but that's pretty much the extent of what I think is going on in this room, or can understand.
Alright, lead the way then.
Well, which path are we taking?
You know how that usually goes, but okay, sure.
Oh,
Well, if you don't want to, I'm gonna grab out for the lantern.
No.
I don't want
Make,
to.
be competing athletics checks if you guys are going to fight over
Don't,
one.
don't you? No, I'm gonna mage
I'm not gonna
hand-
fight him for
I'm
it.
gonna mage hand
Okay.
it.
I'm just like,
extend and
you
just
don't
lift
want
it
to
up.
lead, then give me the lantern. I'll take
And as
the
you
lead.
go for it, suddenly it's like Heinrich's hand displaces and the mage hand just lifts it up out of your grasping range, Guntir.
Okay, well, no
You
need
see
to be
the
a
light
jerk about
expand
it.
slightly up, and you see the lantern suspended by a thin chain to the ceiling, wherever that is. You don't see one. In this moment, Heinrich, looking around, this is so dark off the dock. Something's pulling at your mind, but just yet it doesn't seem to be coming to you. So, left, straight, right. You could step off the edge as well.
Yeah, well, yeah, sure. All right, another. Shae, I know that you've never been down here, but again, I know that people don't talk about this test ever. But are there any?
I'm gonna go with
sayings,
my gut.
mantras or anything like that that would.
Gunter,
give
which way are you
inclination?
walking?
I think I'm walking straight. Like,
Okay.
come on, time's a wasted.
Gunter
Well,
takes the lead
like
again.
in old fairy tales and stuff, there'll be like a hidden in the message
10
of
feet.
something that you're told.
15.
Are you
Like-
coming?
Directions. No, I'm
Gunter's
not.
right on
I'm
the
still
edge of the
talking
light.
to Shae. I'm used to you walking away now.
Are you still going?
I'm sticking with the light.
I'm gonna stay and be like, well, if you're not gonna lead, then what are we doing? Just standing around?
I couldn't tell you.
Okay,
Let's try straight. We're already on this path.
fair enough. That was gonna be my next suggestion if there wasn't anything.
Alrighty. So
It takes you guys like
straight.
an extra 30 minutes to figure it out.
Gunter, are you letting Heinrich take the lead, or are you, now that you're in the lead, just gonna truck ahead?
I'll
I'm
walk
gonna-
behind him, but
I'm gonna,
like,
I'm gonna like keep walking forward, but I'm gonna let them catch up. I'm not like trying to run ahead.
You walk another
the light
20
back
feet,
down to my hand.
Grumping
and with the
them.
light now in Heinrich's hand, the green light extends beyond the gray. You walk another 20 feet, and Gunter, as you get maybe 30 feet away from that last lantern, you see the gray light behind you fade, and the gray light in front of you light. And you recognize as you walk through this space, there are lights that seem almost like motion censored. As you approach, they seem to activate.
Oh, all right.
As this light comes on, suddenly you're aware of another presence. A statue. Fairly simple, carved of wood, but about 5 feet tall. It seems to be, based on the very simple carved garb, a monk. Similar in design to Zinyi. I would say Shae. Make a history check for fun. For fun. We're having so much fun with this history check.
I'm gonna.
17.
Is Shae within tapping distance? Oh, I was gonna guidance you.
Sorry, buddy. 17?
Yep.
You look at this monk, you can see. So, first of all, they are dwarfish.
You know this guy?
You can see, based on the garb, probably a mystic, very kind of simplified and not so much concentrated on allowing the freedom of movement of the arms and legs, but more so the centering of your ki. You don't recognize him, but seems to be Zinyi.
Is there anything on the statue, or is it just the set, like writing or
Make an
any
investigation
other
check.
indications of what it is? That's a 18.
18. You look it over, and as you run your hands across this wood, you can feel there are parts that are still rough. Gamble would not approve of this. This is While not like roughshod, like some kid made this, for the Xinyi, thinking back to Squall's End, this gorgeous place where every single detail of every building was impeccably looked after and intricately designed. This looks like it was probably done by hand with somebody who this is not their talent necessarily. Aside from that, you don't find much.
Okay. Keep going then.
Are we ready?
Okay.
Continuing.
Same thing with all the directions, left, right, straight, back.
Yeah, as you walk, this is an expansive grid, and Morwen, for you, you're seeing these wooden posts that come up, just like at a dock. They would just rise up, and looking over, they just seem to descend, and then darkness. But Morwen, as you look down, you realize you can see underneath the dock as well. You can see the bottom; it doesn't just disappear. And as you look along the underside, the edge, you can see almost, and it extends all the way to the 45 feet in every direction of your eyesight. This dock, expansive. You don't see rope, you don't see line. It looks like there's no crates or barrels, things that you associate with a dock. And as you guys continue to walk, here and there are statues that loom out of the darkness, varying degrees of workmanship. But Shae, you begin to recognize them as you progress.
Mm-hmm.
With that history check you made previously, you come across the next one. All of you recognize. Beautiful craftsmanship. You see Era, the face of this mountain elf, just kind of loom out of the darkness. And for you, Shae, immediately you recognize Era did not make this. This is Gamble's work.
Mm-hmm.
Although Gamble is not a master, for what it's worth. Not a master monk.
Yeah.
But you see Era, almost lifelike this face. You can see the individual small scars that to an outsider would almost appear to be tattoos. Those have been carefully etched into the wood. It almost looks like scar tissue. This is beautiful. And as you continue to progress, there are more. You see another Aarakocra, although you do not recognize this. They have no spear, and they're not dressed as a scout. Very odd. You do recognize there is a elvish mystic that was a teacher to Era, who, after a little bit, you progress. Much older looking, the statue. This is the elvish mystic, Master Omenven, who you'd never met, but Era definitely spoke about. When her group first arrived in Dominion, it was he who welcomed them. Are you doing anything with either of those statues?
Like a quick once over, just to see if there's anything odd about them, but
You look at each. Again, the only thing odd is really that Era's is just in this space. At least other two statues that you've seen, journeyman at best. This is masterwork.
mm-hmm.
But aside from that, not much.
Nothing about the way that they're facing or positioned.
Make an insight check.
Oh shit. 25.
All
Not
of
a
them.
natural 20 either.
Sure. All of them. Wow. All of them, you notice, are facing away from what you kind of would imagine if you are walking down the center of this space, away from the center.
Can I triangulate a zigzag towards the center?
What you mean in terms of like where they're facing and
Or like away from?
a way for us to get
Like
to
if
the
they,
center.
if like, yeah, like basically try to plot a path to where lines traced directly from their back would all intersect, going on the zigzag of the dot.
with that roll, I will say you don't necessarily think that's the case. And with that, as you're looking at them and you begin to think, you start investigating them closer. These have been made at different times by different people. You can tell that almost right away, and the woods are slightly different, although you don't know enough about wood to really you can make a nature check if you want.
While
But just
I'm at
slight,
it,
yeah, sure.
I've only
Just
had
slight variation.
cunning.
but 20, dirty 20.
Okay. All of these are woods that you have at some point seen in your journey through the north. You see elements of fir, the knotted wood, and slightly green element that might be pine. Um, they've been imported from the place that you have just been, from the north of Dominion, which is strange. You look down at the dockwood, and you begin to think about it. And as you walk, you don't hear your footsteps. This is, the muffled sound of this place, but you tap it with your boot. That's stone.
Okay.
Stone, you say?
So with the facing.
Go ahead and make your stone cutting check. Although you don't know it's stone, Guntir. You've just kind of been walking.
So with the way that they were all facing in that insight check, you said that they were all slightly facing away from the center. You said.
Yeah.
Is it possible to walk towards that center?
I mean, you're walking along the center path and they're all facing out from it. So it's not so much that you're looking for a center point, but with that insight check, it's almost as if these statues were posed in a way that puts them on guard.
Mm-hmm.
And following the eyes of these three statues as you walk past, it is like a stony vigil, or a wood vigil, kind of cast out into the dark. Your eyes don't see what they see, but perhaps they're watching for something.
Mm-hmm. Can we walk in that direction instead, I guess?
You certainly could.
Okay.
You want to walk to the left or the right, because they face on either side that direction, so.
They face on either side, so they're not all facing roughly the same direction, they're all facing
Nope.
different directions.
Well, either facing left or right.
I see. I mean, I'll follow where their eyesight's going,
Okay.
heading further in, I guess.
You stop at Era's statue, kind of examine it, and then turn left and follow her gaze and begin to walk in that direction. Shae, you hesitate for just a moment as they're walking, because this is Era.
Oh, I was passing. I don't think I would follow off
Okay.
the side.
You just-
Until I notice that the light's not there anymore
Okay.
from Heinrich. Just
Guntir,
like-
you walk about 20 feet, and it begins to get a little darker, and then the light reappears from the next one. You can see another statue, but Heinrich, Heinrich, you're going left. Shae, what are you doing?
Would follow Heinrich after whatever moment
Okay,
with
Morwen?
Era's statue.
Yeah, I'm following the light.
Okay. Guntir, you walk out, and you come across this next statue. The light goes on. You see the light behind you fade out. You see the
Hey, do
green.
you know this one?
You see the green of
Damn
Heinrich, of Heinrich's lantern, and you see Heinrich, Shae, and Morwen progressing in a different direction. But you turn and you look at this statue because it's taller. The statue is like 7 feet tall, almost 8 feet tall. It's this towering figure. Weird, this one. Maybe a tiefling. He does have horns. You see 2 horns that come out on top, and then 2 more that come out on the side. The eyes peer out into the right. You can see this sort of armor that goes up to like the belly almost, but then just bare chested above. And this dude or tiefling or whatever it is jacked. You just see like definition. You could probably like grate cheese on this dude's chest. His hand is kind of looks as if he should be holding something, but it's not. The rest of you walk. You see the light behind you, and the light in front of you, up. You walk underneath that. You don't see any statues. That one. And every time, Guntir, you can see these lights wink out and turn on and follow their progress. Although you tracking Heinrich, no problem. You can see the group move. Heinrich, after the second one, you recognize you come to the edge. The dock ends. And beyond there is dark. But as you look, make a perception check.
Oh boy. Oh wait. Sorry, I never really actually bothered looking because I always roll really poorly. 13.
Okay.
Hey.
You see a lot of dark.
Friday the
Look,
13th.
and whatever it is that these statues are looking at, you don't see it.
Okay. Shae, this is where I think they were all looking. Do you see anything? I'm at a loss here.
I'll take a look.
Make a perception check, Shae.
Can you mage hand the lantern further?
27.
Okay. Shae, you step up next to Heinrich. Heinrich's one gold eye darting about, looking through the darkness. Both of your eyes look out, and you do get the vague sense of a shape. This dock that you are on is massive and long, hundreds of feet long. You get the sense that in front of you there is almost like a building. And suddenly, Shae, you do realize that there is the faintest hint of light. And off, hundreds and hundreds of feet, you see what looks like almost like a spark in the darkness. And in that instant, you see this isn't darkness. It's almost like this inky mist. It's like a cloud almost for just an instant. And it's like somebody like flicking a lighter hundreds and hundreds of feet away. And that's it.
I would relay all of that.
How do we get over there? Do we want to get over there?
I mean, maybe we can float again. I'm tying up my rope.
Oh boy. Okay.
This is the end of the rope.
Yeah.
Of my rope.
I'll
Why don't
hold on,
I
dude. I'll pass
take
them
it?
to Shae. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll pass them to Shae, and I'll take the front. You can get the back, because that's where it matters most.
I'm going to, I guess, climb down the dock the same way I did the first time. Just
Okay.
slowly, and then
Do I see all of this?
before I
from where I
let
am?
go entirely.
Yeah, Gunter, you see it. They're probably about 110 feet away from you, but you still see it.
It's
It's
just like
weird
a-
because there's no. It's like a perfect tunnel around where Heinrich's light fades and ends, and that's what you can see. But Morwen, you swing your legs off the side. You see Morwen kind of suddenly disappear a little bit. She gets shorter, and then Morwen, as you push away, you float.
I thought we were going this way.
I don't really know where we're going, to be honest. with
You don't hear Gunter.
Thaumaturgy.
Yeah.
You see him. You see this kind of silvery gray light that's shining down. You can see the dock around him, and you can see the statue in front of him, Shae.
See a grumpy Guntir.
You see the face of Gunter, grumpy, and behind him, serene, a confusing look, but he's never been easy to read. You see the face of the Jinn, El Hidyat Al-Amir. You see the four horns, you see the ceremonial armor going down from the belly to this almost long skirt-like garment. You've never seen him up close, but the stories of him, hard to mistake.
Interesting.
And you're beginning to put together every statue that you've seen here, and you have not seen a statue of Master Gamble,
No.
is a master monk. And you begin to get the sense that they, with the exception of Eras, who was given one by Gamble, all carved their own.
I don't know what to do with that at the moment, so.
Can I straight stomp up over there angrily?
Gunter, you stomp
Going
off
forward.
the side of the dock,
Well,
and 5 feet at a time, you drift across the expanse. You walk across the next section of dock, drift across the expanse, and then just cross right into their space.
To your defense, it is 10 feet, right?
yeah, I moved for 10 feet floating.
Yeah,
'cause
real
I'm-
quick.
I'm slightly smarter than
You
all of
only,
you.
you only slow down a little bit, truthfully, because your normal speed it's only half your normal speed.
Yeah.
That's 10, so
Oh my gosh.
Gunter recommends you. You see
Wow.
Guntir, Morwen drifting in the dark.
If you're gonna go somewhere, then at least say something. Rude.
Well, I thought you were just with us. Sorry.
I'm
Sure,
the one
we
in
can-
front.
Shae, given your sense of this space, the idea of the mass that is both you are on and that is around you, you get the sense that the dock probably only extends forward another 50 feet. So as you exit the light that Guntir was at, the next lantern should illuminate whatever the end of the space is. Perhaps just more dock that is leading into darkness, but whatever the end of the structure is, seems like it would be there.
Okay. Perhaps we should
No.
check that out first before whatever is on the signs.
Let's head there then.
Can someone tether me like a balloon?
Well,
Are we
we're still
going
holding
back?
on to you.
Hold me while I'm drifting.
I'll still
I
hold
gotcha.
on.
You hold on.
Woohoo!
You pull Morwen over the docks, and Morwen, you recognized in doing this, you can float over the dock as well.
Ooh,
Um,
so I'm like swimming.
Okay, so just swimming across the dock, tied to a leash that Heinrich is kind of dragging you on. You're like a balloon, like an animatronic balloon. Very, very like miniature Macy's Day Parade is this. Shae, Guntir, Heinrich, you all progress. You reach the spot that Guntir had originally turned that light on. The light appears. You see the listener up close, Shae. This statue, fairly old, well carved, somewhat intimidating.
You know this guy?
He is the current listener.
Oh, the guy that the guy was talking about.
Hmm?
All right, well, let's go.
That's it? Okay.
Oh, what else are we supposed to do? Are we here to do a statue exhibit?
Gunter's like walking as he says this, and as
Thought we
he
were making
gets to
progress.
I'm
edge
here to
of
get
the
back
light-
my stuff.
as he
Okay,
gets
I'll
to
be
the
right
edge
back,
of the
guys.
light-
Shae's stuff to our stuff.
Fair enough. As you walk, and as you see Gunter walking away from you, he turns to talk to you, and he gets to the edge of this light, and the other light turns on 45 feet away from Gunter behind him. Similar to the place that you just came, you see a circular corridor. You see a doorway, same wood stone that you've seen previously. However, this one is open, and you see an Aarakocra standing in it. Not Crick, not Krodik, nobody that you've seen previously, although Gunter looking vaguely familiar to you.
Guiding bolt on his face.
Wait, we see
Okay.
the real thing?
Wait.
Yeah, you will do. So,
Is it one of the guys who attacked me?
yes, it's the first
Yeah.
one that you saw.
All right. Guiding bolt.
He is standing
on
in.
the
So,
face.
what it's worth, as the light turns on and he sees you, you just hear him say, "We need more." And then, guiding bolt. I need everybody to roll initiative. For what it is, worth, I will show you the map, and then somebody post this in chat. The part in the south of this map, because I did this just slightly differently, is what Gunter is facing. So, Gunter, you're coming from the north.
Okay.
You are about 40 feet up from the bottom of this map. And I'll put it in general chat, and if somebody could put it in Twitch, that would be lovely.
Mark up.
This basically gave me carpal tunnel doing also. The rest of you
Oh wow.
are currently located, and this is actually very fortuitous. You guys would be, if you can see the dock floating all the way to the right, that's kind of extending down. You guys would be where where you guys would be basically right there. Crossing straight over and floating across, that's where you would be. If you are instead taking the docks, you would be in the dock all the way to the north and walking to the left. Gunter. Okay.
Are we?
So, for all of you, I need everybody to roll initiative, and I'm going to take us into some more. Let me take. Okay. All right. Anybody natural 20 for initiative? All right. right, 25 to 20.
21.
20.
23.
Okay, so Morwen, Shae, Heinrich. Guntir, what was yours?
13, which is
Okay.
still better than usual.
Mm-hmm.
Anything plus 10 really is fine. It's just fine.
This is going to shake out really interestingly. So, with the way that all of this works, Guntir, go ahead and make your attack roll. You're going to get a surprise round, and he is going to get a surprise round because technically he was waiting to ambush you.
Ooh, but not, because he's going to get 23.
You would be rolling at disadvantage because this is patient defense.
Okay. Then instead, he's going to get a 19.
A 19, yeah, that hits roll damage for that. Yeah, very nice.
Damn.
Okay. That's a nice guiding bolt for his face. And be like, hey, he's the guy, one of the guys who took my stuff! And point, and when I point, I'm gonna guiding bolt him in the face.
Took my stuff, and as you point, this like point of bright light appears, and it shoots out.
That is Jumanji. That's 8 plus 6, 14 points of radiant damage.
Nice. Okay. So you see this bolt streak out across the dark. There's a moment, Guntir, where you see it almost fade as it touches the darkness around it. But as it strikes true, it hits him right in the chest. You can see the skin sear with the divine energy. You can see he's trying to talk to you, and he says,
he's
"We need more," and then you
magically
just hit him. He pulls back, and you see this glow spread across him. At the same time, he staggers back. We need more time. Stop them! And he ducks through the door. You see him retreating down a similar corridor that spins. I'm going to say with that is the end of the surprise round. We drop into normal initiative. Morwen, you are first. Shae, you are on deck. Heinrich, you're after that. What do you want to do?
You said he disappeared?
Yeah, you saw him
away?
just go through the door. Yeah, he's gone.
He's getting away with my stuff! Our stuff!
I don't know if I want to chase after him. It might be a bigger trap. Shit. I'll chase after him a little bit.
Okay. Shae, can you do me a favor and roll a d4?
2.
Oh, lovely. So
Oh, that's not
Oh
good.
wait, I'm still tethered.
you are.
Oh, I'd let go. I'm not holding onto it.
Doesn't
Oh, okay.
Heinrich had it. I
Morwen,
don't.
as you move, you begin to drift away. Since you're still floating, your movement speed is 5.
5.
So you drift 5 feet forward. And as you do, you provoke an opportunity attack.
Oh
Great.
no.
That's
Wait, aren't I
advantage.
pretty high up?
I assumed you were only like 10 feet up. Because he never really mentioned how far you were going to
Guess
go.
so. Yeah.
I was imagining just like a casual light drift.
I suppose.
That is a 27 to hit.
Yeah, sure does.
Ouch.
Okay. You take. Oh, you're lucky. You take 7 points of bludgeoning damage as you feel something into you. Familiar feeling. This is an invisible stalker. And suddenly,
Ah.
you are aware 4 of these gray lanterns turn on. From down the dock, one of them, like back behind you guys, maybe 30 feet away off the map, the rest of them all near Guntir. You realize that you can probably track them from this moving light, at least vaguely. However, Morwen, that is your movement unless you would like to drop down to the ground and...
I mean, at this point, yes, because I forgot that I can't really move up here.
So you float, and as you suddenly see, when you get hit, the hit almost sends you down, so you drop down to the dock. You have another 20 feet of movement you can use.
Are we currently under a light?
You're about 10 feet away from a light.
I'm also holding one.
I don't
so it
know if
doesn't
I
really
want to
help.
get under a light. I think I'll just get right on the edge of a light. I don't know, so I'm at least hidden in some
Okay,
way.
so on the map, you can see there's an area that is kind of like a triangle.
Yeah.
You are to the left of that, the top square to the left of that.
Okay.
That is your turn. Shae, what would you like to do? Heinrich, you're up next.
Did I see Morwen get hit?
Yeah, so as Morwen began to float forward, you saw, and she had to land on the actual dock.
Almost like it
You
came
have
down
the sense that
from
they're
top, though, like above where I am.
hard, whatever it is invisible, hard to tell.
Gut reaction, Shae would chase after. She would chase him. The Aarakocra.
Chase after, okay. So are you going to, you have two options. You can run along the docks, or you could attempt to float through. You know that floating is slow, and to run 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, etc. The run, because you have to run around like that, that's about 260 feet to the door. Are you dashing?
Yes.
Okay, what is your movement speed?
With the dash, it's 140.
With the dash, it's 140. So, Morwen, as you get to this part, you're like, you have to drop and run. You turn, kind of rubbing your back, and you see right by you, Shae runs past this little triangle, and you get to the very edge, the bottom part of where that first horizontal dock spreads. Guntir is 15 feet in front of you.
Okay. Patient defense.
Okay. You see Guntir behind you, Shae, rush up and take a ready stance. That is your turn. Heinrich, what would you like to do?
So you said that a lot of lights turned on, and are any of them on this map?
Yes, so there's one directly in front of Morwen. It's kind of up. And then you can see one down and on the left-hand side of the dock, so the left side of where Guntir would be, one to the right, and one on the actual stone that the wood connects to.
Okay.
What do you want to do?
Fucking hell. I mean, I'm gonna stow the light. I don't know if that's an action, but I'm holding it, and I don't think that's gonna help.
Okay, you tap it. Shuts
Okay.
off.
And then fire off roughly from behind where Morwen was shoved.
Okay, so you turn to your right and you aim at about 10-ish feet. Go ahead and make your attack roll at disadvantage.
Yeah. First bolt certainly misses with a, well, does it actually with a 16?
It does not. That hits.
Oh,
So as you fire the first bolt, and it seems to hit just 10 feet away from you, it hits the air and ruptures out. Go ahead and roll damage on that.
Okay, that one is 12 force.
Okay.
Second one, same place. Fuck. Please get another natural 20. These are all at disadvantage, yes?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, natural 20 or... Okay, not bad. 20, dirty 20.
Okay, that hits too.
That one is one more than the last, so 13.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
25 total.
And these are all pushing it, just for the sake of it.
Okay.
And then this one, damage sucks, but it certainly hits with another dirty 20.
Okay.
6 damage.
Worth noting to you, I did look that up. It's only the first one that does
That's
it.
what I thought, yeah, because
Yeah.
otherwise it would be like 30 feet of
Yeah.
forced movement on someone. That's not fair.
So, what was that to hit?
The last one was another dirty 20 and a total of
Dirty
6
20?
damage.
6 damage. Man,
Yeah.
look at that damage.
Yeah, I'm
All
not
right.
fucking mad about it.
So, you turn the first bolt, and you can see it hits and ruptures. So you aim the bolts at the same spot. And as this, whatever it is, moves, you see the stone in the wall behind it crack with the impact. Roll 2d6 for me.
Yay. Yep. Ha! And 9 total.
Not bad. So in
Hell yeah.
total, as your blast pushes it into the wall, it seems to deal additional damage. You see parts of the wall, and bits of stone fall to the dock below it.
Cool.
Anything
I'm
else?
also moving while walking, not floating.
Okay.
Normal speed, obviously, towards the exit that Shae just ran towards and Guntir's already at.
You move 30 feet?
Yeah, full. I'm not trying to stay in this room.
Okay. You get off that kind of extended dock and onto the main one. That brings us to the monk's turn. Gunter, from your vantage point, you see this monk, the wings begin to flap in the hallway before gone. Through the door beyond, you see there's almost like rungs that seem suspended into the darkness itself, and he doesn't use them, he just flies up and out of sight. That is his turn. It is now the turn of the invisible stalkers. Heinrich, you sense the dock vibrate slightly underneath you as the one that you hit looms up next to you, and you are going to take 2 attacks. First one is going to be a 12.
Nope.
Second one
Off
is
the shield.
best. Okay, so clang into the shield. You can see the shield vibrate as something hits it, and as you pull the shield away, another one comes around. That's a 21 to hit.
That one does hit.
Alrighty.
Yikes.
So, right in the chest. That is going to be 10 points of bludgeoning damage. This huge. It feels like something large and heavy strikes you in the chest.
Okay. Hellish rebuke.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead.
Feature. Love that so much.
Hellish Rebuke is sick.
Yeah, and the inherent tiefling. It's once a day, but hey, whatever. I'll take 3d10 plus charisma. That's not bad. Let's just do this. So that is. Yes.
Keep rolling your damage, and I'll figure out after.
Okay. So dex save or a total of 25.
25. Make a perception check for me.
Okie dokie. Fuck yeah, I did. Dirty 20.
You needed a 20 because
Oh.
the nature of Hellish Rebuke is it's a creature that has damaged you within 60 feet that you can see.
Yeah, I
see
didn't
it.
even think
But
about that.
even as this thing stomps towards you, bits of the stone wall still rest on elements of it, and you target it at that, and you see this fire rip up it. What was that? That was dexterity save?
25 dex save. Sorry, DC is 17.
You see 17?
Yeah.
Well, how does a 11 do? That's 25
wonderful.
more damage.
25 fire.
Okay, 25 fire. Dang.
Yeah,
You have no idea how this thing is looking.
I know.
Do we ever?
Yeah, invisibility, man. So you see, and the fire just flicker down and die, but certainly hurt. That is its turn, but there are 3 more of them. And based on where you guys are, Gunter. What do
Am
you?
I up next?
Nope, but you're about to get hit a whole bunch of times.
Oh.
You feel the dock shift slightly as if things approach from 3 different directions. You guys see the lights as these things approach Gunter. They're invisible, but you see the lights just blinking on and off towards him. Gunter, it's a 21 to hit.
Yeah, that's gonna hit.
That is a 15 to hit.
That's gonna. Oh, that's a tie actually.
That hits.
Oh, that also hits.
That is going to be a 21 to hit. That hits. That is going to be a 19 to hit, which also hits. That is going to be a 13.
Ah!
And then a 19. So you take 5 slam attacks. All of a sudden, at once, you feel them vibrate. The lights, and all of a sudden, you just take hits again and again and again. That is going to be 7, 16, 21. Oh, you got lucky. 23.
Oh man.
28 plus. You're going to take 35 points of bludgeoning
okay.
damage
That's
as you just get hit again and again. You guys who are watching this see Gunter's body just begin to violently jerk around.
It's
Almost
like that
confused.
scene in The Godfather when the guy gets gunned down, but there are no bullets.
It's very similar. Yeah, you're just getting moved. They rain down, and as this happens, and Gunter, there's one particularly forceful, and your head goes sideways, your eye half closed, a little bit of blood going out. Gunter, for you, you see the blood spatter across something in the air. Almost a face. You see long teeth, this long, too long face before the blood drops. But That is their turn. That brings us to the top of the round, which is
No,
Morwen.
wait, I didn't go.
It's Gunter's turn.
You got the surprise round at the beginning. That's why you
Oh.
didn't go.
Oh.
Typically, you're right after Heinrich.
Oh.
What do you want to do? Share your own deck.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't like these invisible guys, so I'm running towards where Shae ran.
Okay. You run in the direction of Shae based on where you previously were. No problem. You're not going to get any opportunity attacks. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Your movement speed is 30.
Mm-hmm.
Still, you're 5 feet behind Shae still, but you run. You get to 5 feet behind her. You see Guntir probably about, he's exactly 25 feet in front of you, just getting pummeled by something that's not there.
And I guess other than that, I'm just going to, ready an attack if one of these invisible things smacks me. I'm just gonna.
Fair enough. You guys watch as Morwen swings the sword around at nothing in particular. That is Morwen's turn. Shae, what would you like to do? Heinrich, you're up next.
Do I have at least a ballpark guess of the closest one to me that hit Guntir?
I mean, since Guntir seems to be jerking around from all angles, you see him stagger forward, stagger back, stagger to the side. You have a rough idea that they're all around him. Exactly where? No. But rough idea.
Ballpark. That's all I need. I'm gonna
Don't
attempt-
waste your time on these chumps. Go after them.
You see Guntir, boom, his head just jerk to the side as it gets hit again.
Gonna hit the one on my way by.
Okay.
Or try
you
to.
streak forwards. Go ahead and make your attack roll.
How is a 17?
17 hits. Roll for damage.
For 7?
Okay. 7 points of damage. Anything else?
I'll hit him again, or try to.
Okay.
It's definitely gonna hit because I rolled an 18.
Go ahead and roll damage for that one.
It's 11.
11. Okay. And are you going to just continue to run?
Yeah, I'll keep going.
Okay. So, and Guntir, you see Shae strike the air, but her fists seem to impact something, and then she's by you. Shae, with your entire movement, you get out off the docks. You hear the muffled sound of your feet transition into hitting stone. You going into the corridor? You're still following this monk?
Yeah.
You get to the very end of the corridor. You see rungs suspended into darkness. You don't see the other side of them. You look up, and you can see above you. Hard to kind of tell, but it seems almost like a carpeted hallway that extends out with wooden walls and a ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
But aside from that, can't see too much. That is your turn, unless you want to. You attacked. That is your turn. That brings us to Heinrich. Guntir, you're up next.
More bolts against the same direction of the thing that I hit that attacked me,
Okay,
and then I'll keep also moving after that back.
sure. Go ahead and make your attacks.
Okay, first one, not looking good. A 15.
You turn, you hold up your hand, you fire, and that's going to hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
Okay, 12.
12, okay.
Second bolt. That's cocked. Damn it. Okay. Alright, now we're really testing the limits here. Is a 14 hit.
14 just hits.
Okay. Alright, so now I know I can't roll lower than a 5, and then I'll always hit. So that's 6 damage.
6 damage, okay.
And then the last one, which will push it away. Well, don't roll lower than that. Oh!
You roll a 4.
I rolled a 5 and then a 4, so 13.
Oh, rough.
With
You-
one of my highest damage rolls of the whole
The
fucking
first
time.
one
Ugh.
hits. You can see the bolt evaporate around it, whatever this creature is. It certainly hit. The second one hits it. You can see part of the bolt out to the side, just glancing off of it.
Mm-hmm.
The third one you fire in the same place. This creature moved.
Alright. Because I probably moved it 10. All right. Okay, so then so that one of them will have pushed it back 10, and I'll then move 30 towards the same direction that I've been heading the whole time.
Okay. With that movement, that brings you
Hiding
to. Okay, yeah. Are you heading towards the doorway?
Yes. Yeah. Ultimately following where Shae went.
You make it around the bend. You are past that triangle of wood, and you are now right at the edge of the first horizontal dock. You see in front of you, about 30 feet, Morwen. You are like right up, maybe 10 feet away from Morwen.
Okay.
There is a swirl of activity around Guntir, which is probably about 45 feet in front of you. You can't see Shae. She's gone.
Cool.
Anything else?
No, that's it.
Guntir, what do you want to do?
How far away am I from this 5-foot hallway in front of me?
You are only 25 feet away.
Okay. I'm going to run towards there, knowing
Okay.
that I'm going to provoke attacks of opportunity.
Yes. Hold that thought. First attack. Okay, that is going to be a 26 to hit, and I need you to make an athletics check.
Oh no. Nice. That's athletics check or athletics save?
There's no athletics save. Athletics check.
Athletics.
Good try, though.
That is 19.
19. You begin to move, and you feel something heavy wrap around your waist. And for all of you, you see Guntir suddenly, his momentum stop, and he get lifted up about 10 feet in the air before you watch as Guntir disappears down into the darkness. Guntir, you are thrown off the dock. You just see the dock fading out of sight.
Can I think my way back up?
If you would like to, you can make 10 feet of movement and stop your momentum. You get about 30 feet away. You see the bottom of this dock, beams running down, the top nailed in. It's beginning to get kind of fuzzy. You're right on the edge.
So can I still see the doorway or like the entrance?
You cannot. You can see the bottom of the dock.
And I can't move anymore, right?
You cannot. You have an action and a bonus action.
Okay, well, I guess I'll move back up as much as I can.
Using your action to dash, you may move 10 feet. The dock begins to get a little bit more materialized. You slowly begin your approach of it.
I'm going to use my bonus action, Second Wind, to regain some health.
There you go. As you're moving up slowly, you grit your teeth and you're ready to give that son of a bitch what he's been asking. That is your turn. That brings us to the monk's turn. Shae, above you, you hear the flap of wings and then the shattering of wood. That is the monk's turn. These invisible stalkers, Guntir is no longer a problem for them, so they're going to turn, and the nearest person, they're not given their task. Okay. Shae, you feel the airspace around you get heavier, but they have to run to catch up to you, so they cannot make attacks. You feel yourself almost surrounded in this space.
Yeah.
They cannot get by you to close you off, but you certainly can't go back. That is their turn. That brings us to Morwen. What do you want to do? You see Guntir disappear. You see Shae disappear. It's just you and Heinrich, and you see gray lights. Probably at least 4 of these things.
I too disappear. No, I'm just gonna keep following Shae. I know that this stuff is floaty, so I'm not too worried about Guntir.
Sure.
So I'm just like copying Shae for the most part this whole time.
With your movement, you get right to that kind of cross section. If you want to bonus action, you could bonus action dash and still, you could get to Shae and make an attack. Because in Shae's one movement, she caught up with you and passed you by almost double. So, I mean, you could catch up to Shae and then make an attack on the air around her if you want.
Yeah, I don't see why not. Let's do it.
Bonus action, you dash and get straight up to where Shae is. For you, Heinrich, the only person that can still see more when you see this burst of feline speed and she gets there. No problem. Make your attack rolls at disadvantage.
Okay. Ooh. Okay. So that is with loose. Oh my, I can't math. What was my first one?
You total 22.
22.
22 hits.
Thank you. All right. 8.
8. Okay. So swinging this thing through the air, Shae, you hear coming up behind you the padded feet of this tabaxi. And then this rapier swings across this air and seems to cut something. You can't see what, but it does damage. How much was it? Sorry?
8.
8 points of damage. That is your turn, I believe.
Oh wait, no. Can I butts?
Yes, you can butts, right.
Also at disadvantage, which is going to
So
be.
after swinging the rapier, you swing the short sword.
Butts.
13. So.
Just
done.
misses. There should be something there, but there isn't. That is your turn, Heinrich. What would you like to do? Guntir, you're on deck. Heinrich, you are
Same.
alone on the docks.
Same kiting strategy. Now I'm like moving backwards while I'm just shooting the same direction. I've kind of like circled it as I'm shooting it.
Okay, yeah, so you run and turn as you walk, and go ahead. 3 more attacks at disadvantage.
Yeah. Let's try this.
It's all about volume.
Well, that's it. Yeah. All right. I didn't roll a 4. I rolled above that. I rolled, I don't know, a total of 23
Great. That's
for 7 damage.
nice.
Another. Okay. Great. 16 for 7 more.
Nice.
And then. Please. Yes. 23 for 13 damage.
13 damage.
Yeah, that's
All of a
fucking
sudden, as you it's and you see the energy of these like ripple around, you know that they hit, and for just a moment you see the invisibility shift and flicker, and you see tentacles. You see this oblong head with the hundreds of dagger-like teeth as this thing's invisibility flickers for a moment. It's hurt.
right. And
Anything
then 30
else?
feet of movement.
10 feet of movement. But
What?
you take 30 feet of
Yeah,
movement.
yeah, yeah.
You know,
I'm still
each one-
pushing it, but I'm also running 30 feet. It's like,
Because you are running away from it, the wall and it, you push it into the wall. Go ahead and roll 1d6 damage because it's standing right next to it.
okie dokie. A fucking 6.
You see the movement shifts into the wall, and this thing, you hear it settle as it dies. You're invisible. You killed it with the wall. Well done.
I did!
That
Oh,
is
fuck, okay.
your turn, and you move 30 feet down. That's actually going to bring you to. You are right at right in the middle of the second horizontal dock. You're almost at stone. You see through the hallway, Morwen and Shae. If you were to look over the side,
I was gonna say,
the
I would
right-hand
be like,
side,
Guntir,
it's
Guntir!
Guntir.
Okay.
You hear your
Guntir!
name being called, and speaking of which, it is your turn. What would you like to do,
Huh?
Guntir?
Oh, I'm gonna keep making my way back to the dock with my movement, which I think is that all of my speed if I dash,
It will be 20 feet if you dash. Yes.
and
And
that
that will
gets
bring
me
you
to the edge
right
of
to the
dock.
lip. Yeah, you'll put your hand on the edge.
I'm gonna do that, and then my bonus action, I'm going to use the one that gives me +2 AC, Shield of Faith.
Okay, so Gunter, you think really hard and you begin to move even faster. Your normal walking speed, but floating through the darkness towards the dock. The wood materializes above you. You put your hand on it, and as you do, this energy coats you, and you cast Shield of Faith. That is your turn. It is the monk's turn. Shae, above you, distant and distant, you hear more wood crashing, more wood crashing, more wood crashing, getting distant and distant and distant. That is its turn. This brings us back to the stalkers. They are around you, Morwen, and you, Shae. Morwen and Shae, each of you roll a d6 for me.
3.
All right, Shae. you're going to take 6 slam attacks.
At disadvantage. Patient
because
defense.
of-
Patient
That
defense.
was 2 turns ago. Patient defense is no longer active. First one is going to be a 20. Second one is going to be a 12.
20 misses, 12 misses.
20 misses?
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay.
Fucking
Second one.
Okay.
18, that misses. 21.
That'll hit.
Third guy is going to get, that's going to miss. And that's going to miss. Okay, all take 1 attack.
So it's the exact opposite of what happened to Guntir.
Intelligence real quick. It is probably not smart enough to do that, so okay. That is going to be 12 points of bludgeoning damage. You feel this invisibility thing just into your thigh. Your knee bends as you take the damage and let the momentum shift into that movement. That is their turn. Morwen, what do you want to do? You are now fairly aware that they're still all around you as you see Shae turn from the impact.
Smacking one.
Okay.
Stabbing
Move your
one.
attack. Disadvantage.
Alright, that's a 23.
23 hits. Go ahead and roll damage on that. And actually,
It's sneak attack, yeah.
it is sneak attack because Shae is within 5 feet of you. So yeah.
Yes! That's so much
You
better.
gotta
Shut up.
remember that.
Well, I figured because disadvantage, so I got confused.
Sneak attack is difficult.
Yes.
You
Yeah, I'll never get it.
while you are in this 5-foot wide hallway, neither you nor Shae will have disadvantage because currently, swinging in front or behind you, you will hit something. So
Okay.
I pulled out my stack of d6s for this session, so at least
Yeah.
it's just one roll.
Oh, this isn't that great.
That's average.
Alright, so it's a 26.
26. I mean, that's still pretty good.
Good.
No, I mean, it is, yes.
You swing the rapier forward towards the source of whatever hit Shae, and you see the blade disappear up to the hilt, and then you pull it free. It's weird. The metal looks wet, and yet it's not. But that is your turn. Unless there's anything else you want to do. You want butts?
Oh yeah, I want
Bucks.
bucks.
Oh, yeah, you want
Nice.
butts?
Alright, that's a 17.
17 hits.
3!
Wow. The short sword
Worth
swings
it.
across. And worth noting, so butts is not a magical weapon.
Correct.
And as you swing out, you recognize that it does not do the amount of damage that you want. It's as if the resistance not quite as strong. That is 1 point of damage.
Still
that
did something. Still
you
butzed him.
technically true.
That's all Butts is good for, is a little pokey poke afterwards. So-
You
No,
wanna say
that
that
sounded
again?
weird.
Fair enough.
Sounded weird.
That
Sorry.
is your turn. We are going to go now to Shae. You hear wood splintering and breaking above you. You see Morwen swinging, hitting something where you are. What do you want to do?
Gonna keep, I guess, hit whatever's around me.
Okay, go ahead and make your attacks. You now turn, so you and Morwen are like back to back. Morwen swinging butts around, and you punching in the opposite direction.
Are these at disadvantage still, or no?
No, you literally. There's only one space in front of you to hit.
21
21 hits.
for... I can't math. 12.
12, nice.
That's 14
14 just hits.
for 6.
Nice.
And then 26 to hit
26 hits.
for 10.
10. Nice. So you take the first punch that you do. It's like the 1-inch punch. You barely move your hand, and it's already right in front of you. Using that first one, you then just follow through with the second and bring the elbow up and strike across where you would imagine a face to be with the third. Whack, whack, whack. You hit every single one of them. Well done. Anything else?
That's it.
Okay. That is your turn. Heinrich, what would you like to do? Gunter, you in the darkness now, just touching the dock, are next.
I'm pulling Gunter up.
Okay, you reach down.
Just grab his wrist and just pull him right up onto the dock.
That I'll call that's basically the help action. So you grab him, yank him up,
Yeah.
settle him down on the dock.
Yeah. We gotta help our friends, and I'll just.
Yeah, we gotta go.
I'll pull him in the direction of the tube that everyone's in, and
15 feet of movement, you yank Gunter down. Which, to be fair, taking half of your movement basically doubles Gunter's movement. So you yank Gunter 15 feet down. Gunter, your little legs trying to keep up, but every now and then he kind of is like dragging you.
Yeah.
You get doing that.
Does he look okay? Do you look hurt? By the
I'm
way?
fine. I'll rub
Okay.
dirt in it later.
Okay.
You get 15 feet, and that brings you to the stone.
Okay.
You see beyond you Morwen and Shae. You see Shae seeming to just pummel the air, and Morwen swinging butts wildly around.
Is there any way to get a shot off, or not really?
It feels weird. I'm gonna say it's at disadvantage because despite the fact it's only a 5-foot corridor,
Yeah,
to you,
yeah.
it feels
I
like
have
you're shooting Morwen.
Yeah,
That's what it feels
exactly. I feel like I would shoot like up and to the side, like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so in case anything was large enough that wouldn't hit Morwen, or rather that would take up the whole hallway, but not directly, so there's nothing there, I hit Morwen.
Sure.
You know what
Make your attacks at disadvantage. Do not roll a natural one.
I mean? Okay, yeah, that's it. That's pretty much it. Okay, looking good. Oops, panicked. Sorry. Looking good. We're good. First one is dirty 20 with max
Morwen,
damage.
you turn as you're swinging butts around. You see the streak of an eldritch blast coming towards you, and you turn out of the side. Right next to you, it erupts across something. You see just tentacles for a moment before the thing fades. How much damage?
Max damage 15.
Nice.
I have technically 2 more bolts if that's allowed. Because
Yeah.
I didn't think that helping Gunter up, that's not an action, right? That was just
I'll call it a bonus action.
Right,
It counts for something.
yeah, because he's floating, so it's not full gravity. So I guess
Yeah. That's fair. So, for the record, if this is water or just off a cliff, full
absolutely
action.
not. Yeah.
But yeah, bonus action for this because you are in this space.
I was expecting that. Yeah. Second one misses with an 11.
An 11, yeah.
It was one away from a natural one.
So, Morwen, you see the weird tentacles as the energy dissipates, and then suddenly, right by your face, another one streaks. Shae, you have to duck in this moment that you are hitting it. It's strike, duck, strike with a third one as you have to duck from this bolt.
Point of fact, I'm not pushing them because I don't want to like fuck up with their melee basically. And then the last one can hit or not, I don't care. It's minimum damage. It hits for a 23 with 6 damage.
6 points of damage. You know what? Every bit counts.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys are watching now. These bolts streak down the hallway. One of them flies and hits the stone wall, but the other 2 seem to erupt around these creatures. That is Heinrich's turn. Gunter, you see Heinrich doing this. He's still like dragging you along. What do you want to do?
I can let
I
go
think-
of you now.
Your feet kind of come back to you.
At the same spot that he was just attacking, I'm gonna use Toll the Dead.
Okay. For Toll the Dead, is that a ranged spell attack?
Yes.
Okay, so go ahead and make.
I thought it was a
I
save.
thought it was just a
I thought
save.
so too.
Yeah, it's a Wisdom save.
Okay.
Yeah.
In that case, very smart. Natural 20. So he's going to go ahead and make that. However,
is it half damage or no damage? It's probably none because it's cantrip. Right?
Yeah, it's a full saver suck.
Okay.
yeah. So you see in the distance near Morwen's head this bell materialize before gong, and Morwen, you have to flinch away for a second, but no damage. Anything else?
I think that's all I can really do at this point.
There you go. Shae, in this brief second that you've
I
heard
guess
the
moving
approach-
forward too with my.
Okay. With 20 feet, that brings you into the hallway. It
Yeah.
brings you only
Running.
15 feet
I'm running.
behind where Morwen is, which you would imagine only 5 feet away from one of these creatures.
I have 25 feet for the record.
You run right up to where you would imagine. hit something and bounce back. You are right next to one of these creatures.
Oh!
Excuse me.
That is your turn. That brings us to and so Shae, you used to hearing the shattering of wood, hear wood kind of settle, and then nothing. That brings us to the stalker's turn. This is going to be Guntir. You're going to take one attack as you just threw the bell. So this is going to be 2 slam attacks from one of them. That is going to be a 15 and a 14.
Double miss.
Wow, okay. So as this thing swings, you feel momentum over you and to the side, but it seems to have missed you. The other 4 attacks will be on Morwen. We have 3d20 here. Okay, that really runs the gamut. That is going to be a 23.
Yep.
Okay, a 8
Nope.
and a 13.
Nope.
All right, so just one hit, not too bad. Morwen, you are going to take 10 points of bludgeoning damage. And then the final attack is just a 15. Okay.
Point of
You
fact,
feel air being shifted around you.
Can I take an opportunity attack because I have Sentinel and they're not attacking me?
Sentinel is if something tries to move by you.
I believe it is
That's just
also
regular. That's just regular reaction, right?
that
No,
if it's
the
attacking somebody
Sentinel-
within 5 feet of me.
Hang on one sec. I gotta look it up because off the top of my head, I don't know. When you hit a creature with an opportunity attack, creatures within your reach provoke opportunity attacks. You can disengage. Creature takes attack. Then when a creature within your reach makes an attack action against a target other than you, and that target doesn't have this feat, you can use a reaction to make a melee weapon attack against the attacking creature. Yeah, go ahead.
Defend
Smack
me, Shae. Help your friend.
Smack it in the face.
I rolled a
It
16.
smacks me,
I can't math
Shae
tonight.
just smacked-
Okay, so Morwen, you feel one, another. You get hit by the third, and you can feel the cushion of air as one of them looms towards your face, and suddenly Shae's hand stops it, just holding nothing in midair. Go ahead and roll damage, Shae.
That's 8.
8. So the fist right into the side of it, and you release 8 points of damage. Well done. Okay, that is their turn. That brings us to the top of the round. Morwen, what do you want to do?
I'm attacking.
All right, plus butts. Go ahead.
Loose
It's loose
butts.
butts.
Sorry, loose butts. Right. Because I can't name things, apparently. Can't have nice things.
That's a 13.
13 misses. You swing loose. Miss.
Oh no, I'm stupid. It's a 15.
You are stupid.
Because you got
And that
the
hits.
+2 from loose.
Yeah, no, I forgot the loose
Yeah,
part of it.
I saw your note. I
Okay.
would have missed that too.
Yeah.
It's a very tiny
Wait, and
+2 on
Shae
top.
still okay.
It's well written too,
He's
but it's just
sneaky.
like
Shh, I have to math. Shut up. Okay. No, I love you. But shut up. Okay. So let's see. 10. 35.
30. Damn. That is exactly the amount of health that it has left. You swing this thing forward, and for a second, you feel as if you miss, but it's just a little bit further away from your reach, and you feel it go deep through something soft. And as you pull it away, this invisibility flickers around it, and for a moment, you see teeth and 6 or 7 eyes that are rolling back as it to the ground, dead. Back to being invisible, but dead. That is
that's loose.
that's loose. You want butts?
Hell yeah.
Okay,
On
you
the dead
swing.
body.
Well, that's-
No, on a different one.
Sure. You look at Shae.
Shae.
You try to calculate where the other one is that Shae has been fighting. Go ahead and make your attack.
19.
19. So you have to kind of like cross across Shae. You're reaching across her body, and you swing the short sword. That hits.
7.
Nice.
Nice.
Okay. You swing. You feel the resistance as the blade cuts through something invisible.
Good
You want to
butts.
move? You want to move anywhere?
No, I'm just gonna stick in this little party with Shae.
There you go, Shae. It is now your turn at this party. What do you want to do?
It's just gonna keep getting its gifts.
Good. There you go.
For a 17,
17. 17 hits. Roll damage.
9,
All right.
Next one is a 19
19 hits.
for 13 points of damage.
Very nice.
Wowzers.
And the last one is a 27, I think.
27, I think hits.
For another 13.
Nice. You seeing Morwen swing across, you have to bend out of the way, and as you do, your back hits the wall. Use the momentum to shove yourself off. It's almost like a mixed martial arts, like cage punch. And you strike, whack! You feel something break on the inside of this invisible creature. You continue forward, hitting it again and again. This thing seems to be almost like backing away now. Anything else?
That's it.
Alrighty, that brings us to you, Heinrich. You see down this hallway, no more than like maybe 40 feet in front of you, on the other side of Guntir, Shae and Morwen are just, it is a melee. You can see them swinging, punching. You hear things impacting the sides of the walls. You hear metal on stone. What do you want to do?
Am I able to see its space it is in?
Yes.
Okay. I don't want to risk hurting my friends, so we're just going to, in 5 feet contained, erupt a bonfire on it.
Okay, yeah, sure. Why not? Is it a dexterity save?
It's a dex save, yeah. It's a safer way to potentially not hit my friends.
Is this in
Because I
front
kept
of
getting
me?
closer and closer, and once I rolled a 2, I said I'd stop to myself. And I rolled a 2, so
It's probably a good idea. Dexterity saving throw, that's a 12.
okay. It's against a 17, so that doesn't
Okay,
work.
yeah.
Let me grab some d8s here. Thank you. So we got 5, 18 fire damage.
18 fire damage.
Yeah.
Nice.
And if it stays there, it will continue to burn on its turn as I'm holding that fire.
Okay, so Shae, after you like pummel into this thing, you feel something break. You hit it again and again, and as you strike it one last time, your punch it erupts into flames. And for a second, like you have to look and you see Heinrich holding his hand up behind. For a moment, you were like,
Just went Super Saiyan.
"Yeah, really." You've never hit anything that hard. Okay, great. It is hurt. You can't really see it, but you can see elements of it flickering in the fire. And as the fire burns, there are shadows cast where you can see like dripping from it. This thing is really hurt. Anything else, Heinrich?
I'll continue moving towards just holding that spell on it. Its
So
area.
if you continue to move,
I don't want to
You-
like.
you
Yeah.
you can go by it even, but you come up to the bonfire and stop. You are
I'll
now
stay
5
behind
feet.
everyone at the back in the line, basically.
Then you move 5 feet forward behind
Okay,
Guntir.
cool.
Guntir, you feel Heinrich behind you. You see fire 10 feet in front of you, and then 5 feet in front of that, you see Shae, and then 5 feet in front of that, you see Morwen. What do you want to do?
So the last one that I'm aware of is the one that's in the fire, right?
Yeah, and in the fire, you can see like elements where something is writhing. The flames flicker and swirl. There's movement inside of it.
All right.
I would say for all of you, while this bonfire is active and it's in its space, there's no disadvantage to the roll because you can see where it's moving.
I'm going to use Toll the Dead again on it as I try to push my way forward because I'm trying to catch up to the.
What is what's the DC on that saving throw?
I believe it's an 18.
An 18. Wisdom?
Yes.
That's a 19. So you see the bell, but nothing.
Oh, man.
Anything else?
I'm running up as close as I can to this bonfire without actually going into the bonfire.
Okay, you can get within 5 feet of it, no problem. It's only 10 feet in front of you.
Put your fire out! I gotta go!
You can
Shae,
get around
in
it.
front of you,
Hallway is
there's
only
this
5 feet wide.
burning creature. You can see the fire, for you especially, you can see elements of the invisibility flickering out. It's badly hurt. It's on fire. And you just see Guntir go there and just yell at you to put out your fire. That is Guntir's turn. It is this creature's turn. Now, is it at the start of its turn?
Only if it ends its turn there. So
Okay.
it says when it enters the space for the first time on a turn or ends its turn there. It doesn't say anything about beginning its turn there. So
Interesting.
I'm assuming it's because when I cast it, it's the first time, but also.
Guntir, make an athletics check. as this creature tries to bulldoze you to get out of the fire, because it's between you and Shae.
Natural 20. Good luck with that.
Heinrich, tell us how it happens, because
Ah!
it has 2 health left. So,
Well, okay. I mean, how it happens is that if we can hear it, can we hear these things? Do they make vocal sounds?
Just
Doesn't
makes
seem
a
so.
sizzling noise.
Doesn't? Yeah, you would just see like parts of the wall around it being like slammed against as it's
Oh my
just
God.
like slamming as it's dying, and like, you know, cracks in the wall and dust coming down, and then it slumps into a smoldering invisible heap.
you say, "Put out your fire," and all of a sudden this fire surges towards you. You put up your hands to block it. You feel flames hitting your hands, and then all of a sudden, like, parts of it are, you see the wall next to you, a long line, dust emerge as it hits. You see another one, and as this thing begins to flail, it's no longer pushing against you, it's just striking out before it settles down dead in the space. And in this moment, because there are no stalkers left that you can tell, I'm going to take you out of combat.
Is the bonfire still up?
The bonfire, as long as Heinrich maintains it, it is certainly still up.
Well,
Yeah,
let's just
turn
get a
out.
little toasty
Row!
then.
I'm going up the ladder.
So you see
I'm
Shae
jumping through the bonfire. to
As soon
get
as you start to
through
leave
the
through it, I'll
ladder
put it
as
out.
well.
So I'm just like, it's gonna be cool. He jumps and the fire disappears, and you just land. But you see
And I'm
Shae.
running.
You see Shae disappear up these rungs. Shae, as you put your weight on them, they stay solid, as if they're bolted into stone, and you move up no problem.
I'll catch up to you!
Guntir, you make it 24 feet down the hallway. There's 5 feet in front of you, then the rungs going up into the darkness.
25 feet of movement.
Sorry, you get right up to the rungs. And you bump into the wall. You're right there. And because it is 10:30, this is a great place to take a break. We're going to pick it up with you, Shae, emerging into the space. I will describe it to you when we get back. It is
They're grabbing the
10:32.
first run.
Yeah, getting ready. It is 10:32. We're going to take a quick break, and we will be back at 10:42. We'll see you then. And howdy, folks. Welcome back to Adventures in Alberon, where we do not in any way support blueberry liqueur, apparently.
No, it's great.
Thank you for those of you. You said it smelled like poop.
Yeah, but it tastes like really good blueberries.
Welcome back to Adventures in Alberon, Edition Dungeons and Dragons campaign, where we're happy to have you. If you stuck through the break, thank you so much. If you didn't, welcome to a great time. Getting right back into it, let me just real quick get some more appropriate recap of music. You all began the session in the halls of Dharma, separate paths, although you rejoined and progressed into the darkness and beyond, following Guntir, who doggy paddled into this endless, inky abyss and then disappeared. You followed him, eventually both of you finding this corridor with spinning circular stone sections, which one of you actually mentioned very much gravity-like, kind of like what you see in the sci-fi space stations. That was a good way of thinking about it. Beyond this, there were docks. Morwen, the only one that initially really saw it as such, but these long sort of dock-like structures that not terribly familiar is the space to any of you, aside from the sort of nautical feel. As you progressed, you learned these lanterns would turn on overhead as you approached, giving you dim light in this incredibly dark space. You progressed forward, seeing statues of various members of the Zinyi. You saw Era, Shae, your adopted mother, the elf who has been kidnapped by members of the Ninth Path. You saw, for the first time in this campaign, the listener, the massive Jin, whose name I have to read because it's long. You see... you know what his name is.
The listener.
The listener, yeah.
Yeah,
Hang on a sec, I'll just straight.
that's the listener.
El Riyat Al Amir, the listener.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, of course. You continue to progress past finally finding a door. And within it, the Aarakocra monk, Tweel, who you had been attacked by previously, Guntir. And in the midst of this showdown, the Aarakocra fled, and he unleashed these invisible stalkers upon all of you. Heinrich, you brutalized one of them. Eldritch Blast just being a low AC murder device. Killing it by slamming it into a wall and pushing it the final hit points down. All of you kind of leading this onslaught into the invisible stalkers. They attempted to stop you, but no match for the might of Morwen, Shae, Heinrich, and a little bit Guntir, who spent most of the battle being flung from the docks into this dark space, using his mind to drift back up slowly.
Okay. What's that?
He was a meat shield, and we needed it for those 6 blows that he took.
Sure.
Wasn't us.
Having defeated these creatures, you continued down the corridor with Shae leaping up. Shae, you ascend these rottens, and let me bring us back into the proper sort of music.
I'm limbering up to start at the bottom.
Okay.
I'm running and climbing over Guntir.
Okay, the two of you make competing athletics checks. Heinrich, you just walk forward, allowing you to pass both of them if you wish.
Yeah, I'll start casually.
I'm not.
Heinrich just walks by.
I'm just
you
like
guys are like kind of, and Morwen is like trying to climb over you. If you're
I
trying
have
to
a climbing
stop her,
speed if it helps.
it does not.
Ow.
Shae.
Mm-hmm.
You get to the top of this space, and you stand in a long hallway, padded almost in many layers of draped dark orange, almost like a burnt umber cloth. Intricate wooden recesses that provide 2 benches each in a small, like a 5x5 booth almost. You would know these are meditation benches. There are sections of them on the left-hand side, and these beautiful wooden walls on the right. The floor has this kind of almost like a crimson carpet, although the color has faded over time. There are no lights in this space, so up here, for you, very dark. There is a little bit of light that comes from the very end of the hallway. You can see at the very end, there appears to be a door, although from what you can see, it seems to lead to a spiral staircase that goes up and out of sight. Again, traveling up. You don't see any broken wood. You remember hearing the sound of almost like looking at these wooden walls as if this entire place had been obliterated, but you see nothing. You see no Aarakocra. All you see is stairs. Heinrich, you emerge, if you would like to, up on top next to her.
Why'd you stop?
When I was down below, it sounded as though things were breaking, but nothing is broken. I also don't like that we are traveling up. The path
Why
of
not up?
the path of the soul is said to travel down, not up.
Do you think that we're being led somewhere that we shouldn't be? Did you see any other options of ways to go?
I'm gonna point down to the end of the hall.
Well, yeah, I guess I didn't really see anything other than forward. And the rungs and stuff, too. It's like, that was it, down below, yeah?
Yeah, literally not even a wall that the rungs are anchored into. If you were to reach past the rungs, you reach into air.
Okay. Yeah, well, I mean... You're fast, he's fast, why don't you just run right through it, right?
I could. The question,
You
of
said he
course,
hurt-
is what is waiting beyond?
Okay, yeah, that's true, huh? Well, then we can go together, if you'd like. Or wait for everyone else, at least. If you want to wait.
Finally, Morwen gets to the top.
Oh,
And then
okay.
finally, Guntir at the very end. You all now stand in this hallway. You hear the last bits of what Heinrich said. You see the carpet, these burnt umber drapes the wooden walls, the pews or benches. Beyond a staircase that spirals up.
Why'd you stop?
Nice.
We may be going the wrong way. But unclear.
Shae, make a perception check.
Heinrich, you know, you're good at like figuring out maps and stuff. Can you do whatever you do?
That's
Figure out maps.
30.
30? Okay. You look at this space and you really take a moment and you realize now, being very still, and you're a little distracted with everything that was going on, but being very still from up these stairs, from down this hallway, you feel the faintest breeze.
I'm gonna go check it out.
Okay. You begin to walk down the hall. Walk 5 feet, 10 feet, and suddenly you're aware these bits of cloth seem to move slightly. The wood in the walls, you hear like it's shaking. Doing anything?
Coming
All of you
from the left or the right? Or
Hard to tell. It feels like it's coming from all around. As you
Um,
said, you can hear now the wood beginning to clatter as these benches shake.
something coming?
yes.
Shae, make a dexterity saving throw for me, please.
You gotta make it through fast.
Oh, it's rocks coming down the stairs or something.
It's like boulders, like
24?
Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
24. Shae, slow motion. Guntir comes up to you and he's like, "Oh, what are you His words slow down, and suddenly to your right you hear wood crack. The entirety of the section next to you, as time speeds up, smashes. Wood splintering, erupting, and exploding outwards. The pews rupture. The stones crushed to the side as a massive metal ball, like a wrecking ball, swings through the space. And as the smashes, you leap forwards. It just misses you. You feel the hint of metal touching the cloth on your back. The entirety of the wood. It's as if nothing happened. The entire thing assembles.
Perfect.
Some sort of time loop, huh?
You see the bits of cloth and then settle.
Can we float up here? Can I mentally
I'm
float?
gonna
You
do
think
some
5 feet up in the air.
Okay.
This is only 15 feet tall, so you're kind of like right in the middle.
That's
But
kind
yeah,
of what I was thinking,
certainly
yeah.
can.
Shae, did you feel like you tripped something off? Is floating the answer here? Can we float just down the hallway?
I
You
don't
see Heinrich
think
float 5
so.
feet down the hallway.
I don't think so. I think it's proximity because likely Tweel is also flying.
Hmm. Shoot. And I'll sink back down.
I'm gonna
Onto the wood.
get ready, seeing that Heinrich can do that. I'm gonna cast Freedom of Movement on myself.
Okay. You cast freedom of movement. You touch yourself, and you feel the rust in your bones basically just kind of crack off a little bit, and you feel a little bit more loose.
So, spells and other magical effects can neither reduce my speed nor cause me to be paralyzed or restrained. Does that mean that I can now float for 25 feet?
What are you thinking?
I'm thinking I want to float and try to make my way through without.
Guntir drifts off the ground. You can see
Dying.
almost like he's possessed, and then he drifts 10 feet forward.
Okay. I'm gonna.
He is now exactly where you stood, Shae.
Mm-hmm.
You can see to the left of him these wooden pews, now reassembled, but at once pulverized by that huge iron ball.
So we're gonna have to get through this, huh?
You see Guntir turn, just floating in the space.
I'm gonna take out one of my many daggers, the only thing that I still have,
hmm
and I'm gonna toss it through, sort of where it made the thing come down.
Okay.
It almost hit Shae.
It's right below you. So
You're in the space that was.
Oh, I'm gonna back up and do that.
Well, you were okay.
you
Wait.
sure. You
I
back up.
didn't realize it was. It had already gone through there.
Sticks blade first in the wood. Nothing seems to
Oh.
happen.
All right. Should we get Coven?
How quickly did that happen for Shae? You watched it, right?
Almost right away.
I'm gonna slowly make my way forward 10 more feet, I guess.
You see Guntir still looking back at you, looking down at the dagger, looking up at you, and just drifts 10 feet back. You pass the blank section of the wall. With Guntir's movement by, you see little bits of the orange drapes kind of flutter. You hear something rattling, Guntir. You look to your left, you see one of the benches shaking, both benches shaking.
Oh no, that's the trick!
Shaking around.
I'm
I need you to
gonna
make a
prepare
dexterity
myself.
saving throw. Make a dexterity
Oh.
saving throw, please.
Ooh, that's a 19? Yeah.
Okay. Guntir, as this happens, the gears in your head slowly begin to turn, and as the wood shatters out, you're like, shit, and you stuck back. The wood again explodes.
Ah.
The curtain's torn to shreds. You can see the floor rupturing up around you. Right back.
Alright. I'm starting to count.
Okay.
Okay. You begin to count.
And I'm making my way forward still.
Okay, what is everybody else doing in this moment?
I'm just
No.
watching.
Yeah.
Turn back and say, follow quickly. And
Guntir, you are 10 feet away from this doorway that leads to the spiraling staircase. Do you go the final 10 feet?
Yeah, I'm gonna go the final 10 feet.
You see Guntir, and as he passes these drapes, and he goes through the door.
we'll run
What are
after
the rest
him.
of you doing?
We'll run after him.
Still just watching.
Just full speed run?
Yep.
Great. In one movement, down the hallway. The drapes just, as you move, the momentum causing them to ruffle and shift. You guys see cobwebs actually move a little bit. You see dust displaced. Shae, you stand right. You actually pass Guntir, and Guntir right as you cross. You guys right at the same time.
Oh
Now that
boy.
wasn't so hard.
Oh boy.
I'm still keeping the count in case I hear smashing.
14, 15, 16. No smashing.
Okay.
I don't get it. I'm gonna go pick up Gunter's dagger, but like that.
Okay. Yeah, okay, no problem. You reach all the way out, pluck it right off the ground.
Cool. I have another dagger now.
There you go.
I want it.
All right,
It's
fine,
mine.
Gunter. I'm gonna throw it all
That's
the
all
way
I
down.
have left.
Make an attack roll at disadvantage.
It's not at anyone. It's at the wall.
Okay, you're still not good at throwing daggers. You just found it and you're just winging it down the hall. So make an attack roll at
I
disadvantage.
effectively threw a dagger very well against Twilight.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, but you're also trying to just like casually toss a knife
Yeah.
at your friend.
But I also have to chuck it the length of the hallway, which is how long?
Yeah,
30
right.
feet?
It's like 30 feet. It's not terribly far. I mean, it's a pretty high DC for this, but just roll an attack roll.
Okay.
Disadvantage.
Disadvantage, thank goodness.
Yes.
Good thing Gunter's got
Natural
the
twenty.
sleight of hand.
I just crit on that, yeah. I want to miss. I want to get...
Still pretty good, Miles.
yeah, this is just adding dex mod, because I don't have any proficiency in this, right?
Yeah,
Or
you
no,
don't-
I guess I
do you have
with...
proficiency in thrown weapons?
No, so...
Okay, so.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so that's, it's only a 21.
Yeah, roll for damage on that. Gunter, you say, I want it back, and Heinrich just goes, fine. He throws it, and as you go out to reach it, into your hands. Blade first, you actually see the tip right outside. It doesn't
Wait,
penetrate your
21?
skin.
Oh, yeah, it fucking... Yeah,
It doesn't
okay.
penetrate the skin, but you can see the blade tip pushing at the skin as if it's about to rupture through.
Minimum damage, it's only 4 damage. That's the minimum damage.
But it's in your hand.
I pull it out.
Blood.
But nothing happened in the hallway?
No.
Alright.
Wait, can you just and then I kind of like jump up so that you're carrying me
Now
like,
I'm
bridal style, and I'm like, whoop.
back on the ground stomping.
I don't want to
angrily
do
up.
that if we have a fight ahead of us, unless we
Gunter,
are
what'd you say?
willing to...
I'm stomping angrily up the stairs now, making my way up.
The
Did the
dagger's still on the
stairs
ground. You just
only
stomp
go
it
No, I
out.
took it out of my hand. I put it back.
Did you only go up?
All right, I mean, so
Just
does everyone
run.
just run?
You
through
just
it?
run and I'll run too. Fuck it. I
Gunter
guess this
floated
is-
through it, and then Shae ran through it.
Okay.
I mean, floating, it still almost happened to Gunter anyways.
Yeah,
So I'll
but
just-
I'm fine. We've gone through worse.
Yeah, I'll just
All right, I'll
run.
hop down so you're not carrying me anymore.
Yeah.
Let's hold hands and go for it. Are you ready?
No,
One,
you're faster than me.
two,
Just go.
and then I start going.
Okay. You're like, no, and you get pulled forward. You get a little burst of momentum at the beginning.
Dead speed,
Um,
deadbolt run.
Deadbolt run. Okay, you run by on this wooden floor. You can see the pews. You get halfway through. Nothing so far. You get right to the end, the last 5 feet, and you begin to hear. And you cross the threshold. Right behind you, this metal ball blows this entire wall out before right back into place. But in general, very well done.
Okay, sure.
I'm out here, Shae, Gunter, Heinrich, Shae, Morwen, Heinrich. Gunter, you are now stomping up the stairs. But Gunter, you taking the stairs first. You get to. Oh, sorry.
I'm prepping too. I'm ready for traps now.
Okay.
I'm like eyes on a swivel,
Okay. Let's see. Let me find this. here.
ready to dodge and ready to attack if necessary.
Okay. You climb, and these stairs, you're walking like 10 of them, pretty easy, 20 of them, 30 of them, 40 of them. You're walking. The walls here, very simple stone, but as you go higher, you begin to notice now slightly cooler on your face. There's a breeze, but you keep going. What are the rest of you doing?
I'm gonna follow once Shae starts making moves, just to make sure this is what we should be doing. Because
Okay.
I don't have my own opinion here. I have no idea what's going on.
Does any of this look familiar to me?
Muted.
Muted.
Does any
wait,
of this
can I-
look familiar to me?
Nothing that you've seen before. This is weird. The stone itself. Make a history check.
How's a 13?
These stairs are weird. There's strange grooves to the stone worked by tools that you're not familiar with, but aside from that, don't know much about it.
Well, we can either pursue and see where this takes us, though I don't know where we are, and I have seen the other aisles of the hall, which do go up. And I'm not familiar with this place.
I mean, in all fairness, what other options do we really have?
Why do you think this is the wrong way? This is the path of the soul. Well,
Guntir comes back down the stairs, apparently. He walks another 100 feet back down.
It's not. The path of the soul is supposed to lead down, not up.
Do you think it's one of those, like, metaphorical,
Yeah.
kind of wordplay things that I never understand?
They're going up.
Can we think the stairs to go downwards? I'm gonna just sit there and be like, stairs going down.
You open your
No,
eyes. The
stairs go
are
up.
yeah, still very much going up. Morwen's right.
Didn't work. Well, let's just go then. If this is the way that they went, at least we're chasing that. And I don't know. It's probably a trap, and I'm really anxious about that. But like,
So we're
what
just
else?
chasing a trap? That seems silly.
Well, right.
I mean, I'm
but
kind of into it, but
Well,
it
if we
seems
know
silly.
it's a trap, then we can prepare for it and have it not be a trap. We'll get the jump on them. We know that they're going up.
Yeah, but they know we're probably following.
Well, yeah.
See, but maybe if
They don't want
we
us to follow.
that would be the unexpected.
we need to. If we're following them,
We're
we
overthinking
need to keep
this.
going. We don't have
We gotta
time.
go.
All right,
Just gonna
fine.
start
Every
walking.
second we think, we're losing ground on them.
Fine. let's
Already
go, let's go.
walking.
Okay. Shae taking the lead. Then Morwen, then Heinrich, then Guntir. Just based on speed. You begin your progress up these stairs. You climb them just like Guntir found, almost to 100 feet. Guntir, you get to the part that you were at, and you continue. The stairs go up 180 feet. You walk around and around, the wind growing stronger and stronger, to a point where you're almost reminded of the outside of the halls of Dharma. You are recognizing now, as you get closer to it, the stairs do come to an end, but not in a doorway or a hall. You get to a point where the stairs go up, and above you, 10 feet, falling to the end of the path, there's darkness. Again, this inky space that you have been into before. Shae, you are in the lead. Do you go up to the top?
Yeah.
Okay. As you reach the top, you get to a 15-foot long, 10-foot wide path of pebble-strewn stone that floats on nothing. In the distance, you see a greenish-gray stone platform adrift. Dark mist seems to crowd the edges of the space around it. Vines, wet, waterlogged, hang limp across it, and you see a single statue of perhaps a winged humanoid of some kind. Huge, 40 feet tall perhaps, maybe 30 feet tall. Above the statue, it provides light enough to see this and seems to be keeping the swirling darkness at bay, is a 50-foot wide swirling pool of shimmering silvery light, like mercury. It's perfect, undisrupted. You can see at the very edges like a meniscus. It very much looks like mercury. But in the center of it, wreathed in swirling vapor, you can see 10 feet wide a perfect circle with faint bits of snow coming through it. And you watch as dark wings, the Aarakocra, vanishes through. Upon the platform, between you and the statue, you see a tall figure. Even almost 200 feet away, you can see the bluish cast to his skin. The massive, chiseled, muscular chest that rises out from the intricate armor plates that glows with arcane blue light, still drawing breath. All the way here, you can see as the head looks up and two pinpoints of burning arcane blue energy peer all the way across this darkness. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna drop back down.
Muted again.
I'm dropping back down.
Okay. Back down.
What?
What'd you see?
The listeners up there. I
Can you
think
hear us?
Is he the one who has my stuff? Our stuff? Our
I
stuff?
think the gate,
staff.
however they got in, is up there, and the listener is up there between us and the gate.
Alright, so here's the trap. Now is our chance. We know they're there. We got the jump on them.
I'm not
I saw
100%
that.
done with him, however, in the general chat,
Oh.
a rough picture of what you're looking at.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
he looks scary.
And Shae, for what it's worth, when you saw him, he did have that shield, and you could see his hand close it around this iron rod. And based on the gesture, it's almost as if there's a sword point that's invisible, kind of just resting in the ground, although you do not see it.
He's not someone to be taken lightly.
Well, we gotta get our stuff, right?
I mean, ultimately, Guntir, yes, but taking all of them on is not smart.
That's why I'm saying. We know it's gonna be a trap. Now we set a plan.
So
But we
what do
gotta
we-
hurry fast, because they're gonna take our stuff. And they're gonna do the thing with the stick. The
Well,
reliquary. That's
I
the
mean,
word.
Again, what other options do we have? I mean, if
Yeah,
this is
what were
where
we gonna
they're
come and
going.
talk to him?
I mean, he's a good listener. No, I'm sorry. Just kidding.
Oh, pretty good.
I'm
Well,
ready
whole
for
discussion
this.
without getting a mark. Well done, but now it's done.
So I mean,
This is where you erase the board. It's been 1 day since you've gotten a tally for being
so
you guys.
can you just refresh my memory? Is the listener a bad guy? Like, is he against
That's
us?
what,
Or is he like a
that
neutral
guy said.
party?
No, that's what the guy said. He was a good guy, but now he's a bad guy.
It does seem as though he has joined the Ninth Path.
So,
In all fairness, does it
What
ever
did-
care?
what did we come here for if we're not gonna get our stuff?
We came here to see what they were looking for, Guntir.
Well, then we're gonna go in sooner or later.
This
I mean,
will
and if
take
they
us
have
to
a-
the giant step. This is not going to take us down to what they are here for.
I mean, so then
So maybe
Yes.
this is that we're at the heart of it. If we stop them here, then go back and deal with the dregs after.
or we retrace our steps and figure out a different way.
Why did we come into the halls of Dharma in the first place?
We
To
came,
chase them off?
No, we came to see what they wanted here. We came to see.
Well, they wanted our stuff, and they wanted to open the hall with the reliquary. We know what they want, and now's our chance to stop them.
So by all means, Guntir, go up and fight him.
Well, I'm not saying we. You say he's strong.
I do say he's
That's
strong.
why I'm saying we gotta be smart.
So suggest
Or-
something.
Well, I don't know. I'm not the one who's a monk. This is your monastery.
I think if we don't want to fight this guy, the only thing we can do is find another path.
To what? Down? Just look for anything down? I didn't
There
see
was-
anything
I mean,
down
you said
anywhere.
that in the sandy room there was some other stuff going on.
And for what it's worth, Shae, when you were up there, your attention snapped on him in this platform. And granted, in the dark space, the first thing that you've seen adrift, but you did not look around.
It's true.
Shae,
Yes, Guntir.
we either have to deal with the problem now, or go back, having not resolved anything. We're no closer than we were before we entered the halls, if we go back now.
So then by all means, Guntir, after you.
I'm saying it's not my choice. This is your place to go.
I mean, does he
And I know if I
you?
go up there, I'm gonna get killed.
Did he see you, Shae?
Most
Trying to
likely.
use me as bait.
So then, why isn't he kind of coming down and finishing us off even now?
Could be guarding the gate. Could be waiting for something to come through.
Gamble said they were retreating, which means they probably already got what they were coming for. Did the other one that you saw, Guntir, say anything before you shot him?
We need more time, I think he was saying, before I hit him.
So then likely they don't have what they need.
I think there's more to be explored in this place.
So I'm gonna climb all these steps, get hit by a bunch of invisible nothings, and get all the way up here to go back all the way down.
Yeah.
Think of it as part of the journey.
Come on, you can float most of the way. You don't have to walk.
It's right there.
I don't want to go near him. Did you see that statue? Dude's ripped.
I'm going down the
That
stairs.
statue.
Okay. You guys watch as Shae starts to descend the staircase.
I'm gonna peek more into the darkness. I want to see if I can see him, just because I'm curious.
You climb the last few steps, and as you get to the top, for the first time you see something lit in the darkness. You can see, it's lit. You can see this platform, this winged, angelic-looking figure, massive statue that rises 30 feet up, almost to where this swirling vapor surrounds a 50-foot wide portal of shimmering mercury-like light. You see beneath that, standing 8-9 feet tall, the hugely muscular form of the listener.
Yeah, I'm gonna nope the hell out of there after that. Just like,
Okay. Right back.
What'd you see?
that's
Hey, make a perception check, because you were looking, and perhaps there's more.
a 23.
Okay. As you're peeking up, so 23. Okay. Silent, but beneath that platform, hundreds, if not thousands of feet away, it's hard to tell. A space so big that trying to judge distances past a certain point is almost meaningless. But spreading like a lion, spreading out into a web, you see a silent crackle of this vaguely purplish lightning crawling through the darkness. Thousands of feet away, and illuminating it, you can see these swirls of darkness, these clouds almost. You have no idea where you are. This place dark, this place desolate in a way, and as the lightning crawls through, one more thing is illuminated to you, just as it sails away. You see the back of a ship. Wood. You see a strange looking ship, these strange protrusions from the side, but almost look like oars, but far too long. And you see up and casting a little bit of a shadow, a silvery sail that seems to be propelling it along. And the lightning crawls by and it disappears, and the lightning fades, and it is dark.
I'm gonna run downstairs and ask Shae what she knows about this boat.
Oh, what'd you see?
Morwen disappears down the stairs. Morwen, you can catch up with Shae, who's just walking, sure.
Make an old man walk all the way down. I'm
So
gonna
what's
start
up?
making my way down the stairs now, too.
Oh, what's up, boat on the purple lightning and the silver sails and the weird oars.
Would Shae know anything about that?
Make a history check.
Because I think Tina does, but I don't want to. 15?
You've heard of ships and you've heard of oceans, but you're not in the ocean.
Word. This is a really kind of nautical place with ships and docks and portholes. Are we on a big boat?
Did you go down as well?
Who?
Yeah, I think so.
Make a history check, because you hear Morwen mention docks. Docks, ships, in this space, perhaps that brings something to mind.
Are we in hell? I ask Shae.
Not likely.
No. Hell is other people. You're always there.
Natural 20.
Alrighty.
Read us a damn book about it.
Heinrich, a long time ago, back in Port Quinn, you remember getting a book. A couple things come to your mind. Actually, a lot of stuff is going to come to your mind.
Book knowledge!
Heinrich, you have read and heard of many oceans. The emerald expanse that separates Dominion and Everest to the west, you know, of the Short Sea. You haven't crossed the Short Sea to get to the Sunrest Islands to the east. But not all seas and not all oceans are simply confined to Alberon. You've heard of a place, dark, swirling with inky black clouds, an endless expanse, the place between places. It is not an ocean. This is the astral sea. You are not in the material plane. And while you have been traveling upwards on stairs, up is not always up here. And not all paths are straight. And thinking about this ship, in this you've heard of weird species, something maybe descended from elves, it's hard to tell, but the rumored inhabitants of this place, the Githyanki, you start thinking about these strange marks, the way that this place has been made. This is not made by simple humanoid hands, maybe these creatures. And then you remember in the Lorebinder Academy, books. And you remember a long time ago, you read a book called Planes and Demiplanes. And you heard of one called Calypsos, the place that Azra was sealed away to in the time and place between time and places. You know that that too lies within the astral sea. And you remember asking your book, has Azra found Jeruxa, or has Azra found a new person? And you remember the answer being not yet, but some time has passed.
Oy. Oy.
Additionally, you remember in that book mention of something called the Burning Banner, a legion of Asimir, these angelic-like humanoids who formed this legion waging a never-ending war against Azra's to keep her within. You look at the statue, or you think of this angelic statue that you've been told about. That tracks.
What do I do with all of this information?
I mean, you can tell us.
Oh yeah, I mean
With a natural 20, you remember, you learn, just remember a recipe for like chocolate chip cookies. You remember a lot of stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna just run back down and be like, and just relay all of that to everyone, obviously.
I'm just gonna turn to Shae and be like, yeah, I'm pretty sure that sounds like hell. I think we might.
What
be
did you
hell.
say?
And Heinrich, you would know actually the astral sea very different than hell. And hell, probably a real place. Like the way that it's written about in many of the books that you've seen, it's not clear, and it's like the facts are varying. But I mean, you do know that the nine hells are heavily written about, and there is much speculation about the first level being called Avernus and being a desolate landscape of fire and ruins. This is not that.
Certainly not. This
So
is
you're just
another
gonna
place.
actually
Yeah.
me?
Yeah.
Actually, you don't know anything about things. You genuinely, like, with a natural 20, you know that this is not hell. You know that you are not in the abyss.
Yeah.
You are in the astral sea.
Right.
Um,
That being said, that's what they were looking for.
perhaps.
I have a strong suspicion they were looking to release Azra.
I'll tell you what. With that natural 20, you go full, like, Guntir, eyes rolling black, you freak out all the way back to the Pillar of Scales. You remember immensely powerful artifacts being used to unlock this already established structure. And the idea of unlocking comes to you.
Mhm.
And you remember that you no longer have the Zinni reliquary.
Yeah.
I gotta catch my breath. You're making me go up and down these stairs. What'd you see?
So what do you think we should do?
Well, I know what I think that we should do.
Not you, Gunter.
I don't think we'll survive what Gunter thinks we should do. No
Especially-
offense, buddy.
I'm almost positive we won't.
So what are we gonna do? Just let him do?
Up and down don't mean literally up and down from our vantage points here. We're not in a place where that means the same thing. So this
You
may
aren't
be
in Alberon
going...
anymore.
Huh?
You aren't in Alberon anymore.
Yeah, exactly. So down led all the way to here, maybe, by what we thought was up.
We've been
And-
following the only path we've got.
And there's more that we didn't explore, I'm sure. But
Well, if our destination wasn't getting back our stuff,
that you lost by rushing ahead.
I was in a race. Are you gonna bring that up?
Carelessly.
You're gonna bring up the past now when we're at the foothold of what we have to do?
I'm just saying your get back our stuff instills no courage, instills
Okay,
no
well-
drive. The drive I'm now afraid of is them finding a way to get in touch with Azra if he seems to seek and she seems to seek him. But I don't know what to do other than the obvious forward path.
Go and stop them.
Well, can you ask your current? Are they gods?
No, but
What are they?
What would you have me ask them?
What are they?
He's a solar.
Sure.
Don't-
Can you ask,
Planetary.
Planetary. Thank you.
can you ask your plant? What's up?
That's so vague. He will not give me any information.
Well, you know what I mean. Like ask like.
Look at the freckles on my wrist.
Stay there.
Well, I mean, also if you asked up, what's up? We know which way's down.
What's our goal here?
I don't know. I'm just in this for the ride.
Yeah, so that's not helpful. I'm at a loss, honestly. Quite honestly. I know
I think-
going up and facing that, and then even if we do make it beyond, on the other side of that gate or portal or whatever, it would just be all of the ninth path at their gate to wherever it goes.
Well, it's either we go and deal with this now, or we go all the way back down and tell everyone back at the monastery that we got to the gate and we saw them opening it, and then we left.
That provides no help.
Well, I'm telling you what we're gonna do if we don't go up and deal with it
Yeah.
right now.
No idea. At a loss.
A difficult decision, but you are aware of the fact that time keeps moving.
Yeah. Oh boy.
I mean, I don't know. I have no
Are we
idea.
even in a position to fight at this point?
I'm a little hurt,
Well,
but not too
Not
bad.
gonna get any better.
Yes,
Let's
but
just long rest right in front of the listener. It'll be fine.
Maybe go over to him first and then long rest.
Excuse me, sir. I'm just going to take a nap, and afterwards, we can
Prepare to die.
There's charging ahead foolishly when we're not prepared, and there's tackling us even though it might be a struggle.
We had to be prepared when we walked through the door of the halls of Dharma. We've been prepared this whole time.
Worth noting, if you were to take a long rest in initiative order, it would only last 7,600 turns. So, I mean, you know.
Yeah, sounds great.
On my turn, I roll over. But
I mean, Shae, is there no chance of even reasoning with him or talking with him? I mean, don't you kind of know who he is?
I
They
know
are?
of him.
It.
I know many of them.
I mean,
But-
do you want to maybe just introduce yourself? Maybe,
Why don't we just try talking to him? If you know, can he
I
be
mean, I just-
reasoned with?
I saw him, and maybe he saw me, and I'm just saying, if for easy pickings, he probably would have just killed us off by now, right?
There's no.
I mean, that's what I would
If
do.
we don't
Just
try.
saying. If I was an evil god, I'd do that.
The clock is ticking.
I mean, he's called the listener to listen.
Yeah.
Right? It's like what he does. They do it. I still have no idea what kind of thing he is.
If this is the path we all wish to walk, I will go.
I feel like
But
it's our
you best be
shot.
certain.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not.
All right, I'm
I'm
walking
just throwing
up.
out ideas.
There's
I'm not committing.
Guntir,
no
after
certainty
walking
in
all
any
the
of
way
this.
up, halfway down, you
You can go up.
and begin to go back up.
I'm gonna get
There.
to the darkness, but I'm not gonna go in just yet.
Okay, you get to the
I'm gonna
darkness.
wait a minute.
Wait.
See
Well, the rest
if
of you
anyone
do it.
else is coming with.
Walk up.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
As a group, one by one, and dreading every step, you catch up to Guntir and find yourselves just beneath where the darkness begins.
All right, how are we gonna do this? We going stealthy, or are we going under the assumption that they already know we're here? I think
They know
the
we're
latter. So let's try a little bit of, catching them off guard when they try to catch us off guard. Yeah?
I like the talking idea because then we can at least learn something if we need to retreat.
Alright, then you leave it to me. I'm a pretty smooth talker.
I don't know. I think Shae might have to go because she's the one
I'm
who knows
gonna
the most
Throughout
about it.
Squall's End, for some reason, unbeknownst to everybody, a shiver passes through the entire population.
Shae, this does seem like your wheelhouse.
But only if you're comfortable
It's your
doing
home. It's related to your home, and everything about you. I have nothing to say to this person. I have no idea about any of this.
Going up.
Okay, you step up. Again, Guntir peeks his head out. Morwen, Heinrich, you follow?
Yeah, okay.
I want to get a good look around since I haven't seen it yet. What is everyone
Make a,
so
make a
worried
perception
about?
check, Guntir. You
I'm
guys
just
get
gonna-
into the top.
I'm just gonna whisper to Shae, whatever you decide to do, I've got your back. And I'm just gonna not draw my weapons, but just behind my back and kind of touch them.
You're ready. Okay.
25.
25. You look around, Guntir. As you look over, you can see just barely illuminated by the far away silvery mercury pool of light that swirls over top the listener. Although, worth noting, at this point, you can see the vapor beginning to get drawn into it as if it is getting ready to close. But you look behind you, and in the bits of light, you can see illuminated in the darkness a large structure. You see the room that you just came from. You see it drop down. You see 3 paths diverge. You know one of them. You didn't see the other 2. And as your eyes draw across 2, 3, 4, 5 intersections, the true scope of this place is hard for your mind to grasp. It goes up, it goes down. There are hallways and rooms that you have not seen. You continue to look and you turn. You see the two burning eyes of the listener as your eyes lock with his.
Oh, he knows we're here.
He is perhaps 200 feet away on this platform. You see green, mossy-looking stone. You see waterlogged vines across it. You see this angelic statue 30 feet tall. With the 25, you see just the tip of a broken bit of a sword from another statue.
All right, Shae. You're up.
I'm walking out.
I'll walk slightly behind Shae, ready to do any banishing if I need to.
Great. You
Into its own
walk,
plane.
It's not.
you walk
Oh, okay.
across the pebble-strewn path. Little bits of pebbles falling off the side into the darkness. You get to the edge, Shae. There is 185 feet between you and this other platform. Darkness between.
I assume it's floatable.
Do you step off?
I do.
You step off and begin to drift. 5 feet at a time. Guntir catches up to you and then very frustratingly passes you.
Oh, and then I slow down,
Draws back.
going like just behind you.
Okay. So Shae, Guntir. You see the two, Shae and Guntir just float off the path. Heinrich,
Oh,
Morwen, what
I'm
are you doing?
following. I'm following Shae this whole time.
Following
All
behind.
four of you float from this path, one by one, into this dark space. You move 5 feet, 10 feet. It is a painstaking crawl the entire time, aware of these burning points of blue light gazing at you. 5 more feet, 10 more feet. You close to within 160 feet, and suddenly you all hear this voice in your mind. And you hear... and Shae, these eyes, though this voice is in all of your minds, the eyes are on you.
Mm-hmm.
Little bird, you have come too late. You must stop me, but I must not let you pass. Approach.
And you feel by you this wind.
I came because Hylan asked.
Still drifting?
Still drifting.
Still drifting. You
Still drifting. We drifting.
Heinrich, since everybody's inputted, would you... Still drifting.
You drifting?
5 more
drifting.
feet. 10 more feet. You're within 150 feet.
Hylan. I thought I cast my lot with the right path. Hylan is not in charge anymore. Whoever freed Druxa doomed all of us. It is already within me.
You can see these 2 points of light look down.
I already hear the drums. Approach.
150 feet. 140 feet. 130 feet.
I'm gonna get
100
up
feet.
to Shae and be like, "You say the word and I'll strike. Just give the signal."
Whatever that is.
Honored one, what is within you now?
And again, remember, all of you can hear this.
Yeah.
I am not only the one who is called Eladiat Dalamir. There is more to me than one. I can feel all of us surging, marching to this drum. It is a heartbeat. It is something bursting to get out. Approach. You must not let this gate close. But remember...
And the eyes again, up at you, Shae, 100 feet away.
I cannot let you pass.
I understand.
90 feet, 80 feet, 70, 50. You can see the detail on this mossy stone, these waterlogged vines, now not vines, you can see kelp, rubbery, but old and somewhat dried out. You can see almost suctioned to the stone. You can now see on the sort of stone-like tunic that this massive angelic statue wears, this what looks like a standard, like a banner with fire around it. And Heinrich, for you, this is certainly representative of a member of the Burning Banner, or the Cleansing Flame is what they're called, the Cleansing Banner, something like that. I'll look it up. You can see through now, Shae, this single 10-foot portal within this Mercury. You see stone buildings, you see clouds, and you see snow. You see the northern sky of Alberon. Somewhere above the giant step, you see clouds. You see the listener 50 feet away. And you see, with your perception, just the faintest twitch. And suddenly you are aware of the wind around you picking up significantly. And something approaches. But because it is almost midnight,
yeah,
that is where we're going to end for this week. So,
shit.
yeah, well done, guys. You guys made it to the astral plane. You guys got to see the listener.
Oh, buddy.
A lot of fun.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Fucking
It's gonna
drums.
be
I thought
really
I'd never hear that again.
Yeah, so like I do keep track of and remember everything from your guys' backstories, and it's a lot of it has actually come up, and you guys haven't said anything about it, so I don't even know if you've noticed it. But everything that you've put in is there.
Drums, dude.
Yeah. So guys, thank you so much for joining us for D&D. This is a great session. Thank you so much for hanging out and being part of this campaign. It's super cool that I get to run it, but I get to run it for all of you guys, because this is like I've said this before. I don't know if I've ever told you guys this, but it's super cool because like I've known Miles since we were like 3 years old.
Yeah.
I've known Allie from high school. I knew Matt in the first job I worked at college. I know Tina from the job when we started. So for me, this game is super cool because it's like people from every stage of my life. So it's like a super special campaign for me. I believe we're back next week. Yeah, everybody free? So next week, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we will be back with session 60, which is super cool. Check out Twitter tomorrow at AlberonRBG. There's going to be a little giveaway. So the only thing you need to do is be watching us then, because you don't need to like, follow, or subscribe, because you're already watching. Thank you for doing that. And it is kind of crazy out there. So until next week, stay safe. See you then. Bye.
Ah.